Ayy, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716, make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and Amos. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo won't make a kill.
What's going on? What it do? Welcome back to another live episode. This is a spicy joint today. We get into a bunch of stuff. First and foremost, we got Melly Mac back in the house.
What's going on, Miles Via?
And of course, we got the other co-host of the show.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my name too.
Nah, come on.
Trash. It's key right here, and I'm happy. I'm so happy.
Why you happy?
Because we about to talk about this Dolphins game.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, listen.
I know. Give me a chance. Let them know.
There's something that I'm boiling about today. I'm your co-host Aramis. This is the home of the all truth, no sodium takes. But let's get it cracking. Stuff I heard earlier today with national media is driving me insane, and I gotta address it. Bruh, I'm going to apologize to you right now for my take on the head coach. And, bruh, I'm going to apologize to you right now for my take on defensive head coaches.
You got through one show.
Y'all. No, I got through 3 shows.
PPP fam. One show.
I got through 3 shows. I don't care what y'all say.
My show, I do what I want.
Right. So here's the deal. Any of you who have been watching what national media has been saying about the Buffalo Bills are familiar with what I'm about to go into. As you know, and as I've said on this show, there's been a lot of noise about how the Bills are a roller coaster team, up and down. They play down to their competition or play up to their competition, and they're inconsistent, right? There's been a lot of talk in the last 2 to 3 days, pretty much all this week, about Josh Allen's trustworthiness, what it would say about Josh Allen if he missed the playoffs, and basically every question that they're asking about this game on Sunday is surrounded around Josh and his performance. And there are people saying that, you know, Josh put them in this position, and if he doesn't make the playoffs, then it's a bad reflection on him, and he's the reason that they lost 4 games this season. And the second that I heard that, a switch went off in me. I just went straight into rage mode, and I started doing some research.
No, you already know.
I might have to piggyback him on this one because I don't like that either.
Right.
Just buckle up and just go for the ride.
Man.
Okay, so here we go. So here's where it starts. In life, there are 2 types of people.
Dang, you're really taking it philosophical. Okay.
There are people who see the yellow light and slow down, and there are people who see the yellow light and speed up. Okay? Sean McDermott has proven he's going to pump the brakes quickly. He could see that thing from 2 blocks down the way. He's slowing down 2 blocks down the way. That's the way that he's been operating so far. Okay? Now, with that said, I want to address the point of Josh Allen losing us these games. I'm going to take you through a list of the 6 losses that we have this season, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. I actually went and watched the end of these games just to confirm that what I'm saying is right. Okay? First loss. Jets, okay? Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions in that game. He also brought us back at the end of the game and put us ahead of the Jets, okay? After that, what ended up happening?
Overtime special. I'm not doing it. Nope, not doing it.
Special teams, kick return, punt return. Was it punt return? Punt return touchdown. Punt return. End of the game. In overtime.
It's not on Josh.
Not on Josh at all.
Not on Josh.
Josh put you in the position to win the game. You did not do that. As a defense, I mean. Your defense let you down. At that point in the season, everybody was healthy. Everybody. That's on Sean. Okay? Next loss. New England Patriots. Okay? That game, Josh only threw 1 interception. 1. Okay? In the last 2 minutes of that game, we were ahead of the New England Patriots. Mac Jones drove however many yards, like 70-something yards on us, on our defense. Again, this is week 2. We have no injuries, but no, I'm sorry, this is not week 2. This is, week
5?
Five? No. 6 or 7. 6 or 7. I might have the.
I'll look it up.
Okay, so anyway, I think at this point we had only lost
just the one game.
Patriots were week.
We had only lost Milano at that point.
Oh yeah.
I think we lost Milano in what, week 2?
Patriots
week 1 or week 2?
Patriots week 7.
Yeah, so Patriots are week 7, right? Okay. So I do have these out of order then because I think the Bengals are week 6 and Jacksonville I think was week 5. Huh?
It's on your screen.
Yeah. So anyway, we gave up a go-ahead drive by Mac Jones. That's on the defense, not on Josh Allen. Okay? Next game I got in the wrong order. Bear with me. I apologize. So week 5 would have been the Jacksonville game. Okay? Now I went back and I watched this. Josh only threw 1 interception in that game. Okay? We were down by I think it was 16 to 20.
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were down.
So they were up 25.
Okay, so it was 11-7, and then I'm not sure how it went in the. I can look it up. Hold on one second. So
we scored a touchdown and we were down by what, 4 points?
I'm looking at
it's like 4 or 6 points.
Yeah, something like that.
Right. But anyway, the bottom line is the Bills ended up getting the ball back with 22 seconds on the clock and no timeouts. Okay? We had a shot. Josh threw the ball like 20 yards to Stephon Diggs. It was supposed to be a modified hook and ladder play because there was a receiver running up behind Diggs. And for some reason, Diggs didn't throw it to the receiver on time, and the receiver kind of just ran past Stephon Diggs. And so when Diggs finally threw the ball, it was actually a fumble recovered by Trayvon Walker. Again, not on Josh.
I was going to say it went 18-7 in the fourth quarter, then 18-13, 24-13, 25-13, and then 25-20 was the final on that one. So the closest we were was just 5 points here. 5 points was as close as we got.
Right. So that's how that game ended. Again, not on Josh, right? So then we take it to the next game after that, which is the Bengals game. Josh only threw 1 interception in that game, okay? That game, we scored a touchdown with just under 4 minutes left on the clock. Just under 4 minutes. Plenty of time to get the ball back. Defense couldn't get the ball back from the Bengals, okay? Mixon goes and runs for a first down on a sweep, and nobody can catch him for some reason. Probably a hold. And we give up the first down, and they kneel it out from that point on. Game over. Your defense did not do what it was supposed to do. It didn't even do what it did in the Jacksonville game. Again, not on Josh. Next game, Denver. Josh throws 2 interceptions, okay? A bit of a rough game for the offense. At that point, Denver was hot. They were hot. The defense was playing well. Russell Wilson was playing well. That team was on a mission, okay? So we got to give them credit for that. But we give up a go-ahead touchdown at the end of the game on the last possession. We were ahead. We were already ahead. Josh went down, scored a touchdown. We were ahead. Defense gives up a scoring play. The Bills lose. Not on Josh. Do I need to keep going? Philly game? Same deal. Josh throws 1 interception. Same exact thing happens. We went ahead. We scored. We were up. Defense gives up a touchdown. In overtime. In overtime. Not to mention the kneel down at halftime. Yeah. I mean, that game is going to be famous for that for years. Okay? So Josh has had to deal with Sean McDermott's defensive mentality his whole entire career. Patrick Mahomes got to redshirt his first year. He got to sit behind a great mind in Alex Smith. Alex Smith may not have been the best performing quarterback, but he was a number 1 overall pick, and he was a smart guy, and he was good at helping his backups progress. You can look that up. It's happened all through his career. His backups have typically played well due to his help. Okay?
I will. The only thing I'll say is I'll put the Jets game on Josh.
Why?
The first Jets game was on Josh. He had 5. What did he have? He got sacked 5 times. He threw 3 interceptions and fumbled once. That's not going to work.
Okay, but who scored the points?
What do you mean?
In the Jets game.
See, I would contend he scored the points, but the same thing as the E.J. Manuel logic when we went to England. he had 2 interceptions. He had to fight back. So he fought back, yeah, but you shouldn't have been in that position to begin with.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Does any of those interceptions matter if we won that game?
If we won the game?
Yeah.
Of course not.
Right. That's my point. So my point is,
but I still say he lost the game. That one I'll stay.
Okay.
I'll let you have the rest of them. But that one I got to take.
Listen, I'm taking them regardless.
I got to take that one.
I got proof. We had the game won. So Josh, even with the interceptions, Josh did enough to win. And that's really my point. I'm not saying that in all these games he was perfect and did no wrong. I'm stating the interceptions that he threw. I'm stating his mistakes before I get to what happened. Right? So my mindset is, even with all the mistakes, Josh dug us out of the hole at the end of the game, and it was really the opposite side of the ball in our defense and the way that our head coach coaches the defense at the end of tight games that gets us killed all the time. That's really my main point in all this. Again, offensive coaches paired with stud young quarterbacks have had a much higher success rate than defensive-minded head coaches with young stud quarterbacks. We still have yet to see what's going to happen with C.J. Stroud. Right now, he's the outlier. Josh Allen has had the benefit of having one of the best offensive minds in Brian Daboll on this team in his first year here. So right now, C.J. Stroud is going through the same exact thing. Let's see what happens when Bobby Slowick leaves that team. Because right now, we're seeing what happens when Brian Daboll left our team. And to me, that is a clear picture of what we are going to continue to endure if we do not take this opportunity to make a decision. And I'm gonna make this short because I wrote a whole soliloquy with proof and all kinds of stuff. I don't even need to go through all that. I think the point is clear. We have to decide at this point because the national media is having a ball tearing Josh Allen apart and his performance this year. And really, this season is not on him. He has been forced to play in a new offensive system. And on top of that, last year, the offensive coordinator that was hired was a rookie in a Super Bowl window. Another big mistake. You make that hire for the sake of continuity, and then a year after that, you change the entire offensive scheme. How make that make sense? Please, somebody explain that to me. How I don't understand how that makes sense in a Super Bowl window.
I'm the one you had to calm down about it. It ain't definitely gonna be me.
Right. So my point is. National media is not doing all the investigations to look this stuff up. They could care less. Right now, it's about the hot topics, which is Josh Allen is a great quarterback, throws a lot of interceptions. It's a problem. It's sexy to talk about.
Yep.
Cool. But you know who can control that? Us.
Yeah.
Bills fans. That's our quarterback that we letting out there to hang right now. And we doing the same thing to Josh Allen that Sean McDermott is doing to Josh Allen because you best believe that the PR team at One Bills Drive is telling Sean exactly what's going on in the national media. He knows. Has he come out and said anything defending his quarterback? Not at all. He let him hang. In my mind, he's letting him hang. If you agree with it, put it in the comments. Let me see what you think. But from my bottom dollar, it looks as though Josh is being hung out to dry for the losses that happened this season, all 6 of them, and really only one is on Josh. Only one. And that one, to me, in my mind, is the Jacksonville game. I mean, there were plenty of opportunities before that last drive when we scored where I think I would have agreed with your point of Josh needed to kind of just take over, right? Because at that point, he was already fed up. He looked like he hated football. Just do something. You're overseas. What are they going to do? You know what I'm saying? What is Sean going to do if you just take over and just start winning the game? You know what I'm saying? But I digress. It's a problem. We have to decide who we're going to protect. Are we going to protect our stud quarterback, our superstar quarterback, worth $258 million of our tax money, right? Because we're paying for the stadium. We're paying for a lot of stuff with this team. That's our money. Or are we going to decide to finally take a stand against the one guy who is consistently hung person after person after person after person out to dry and blame them for his shortcomings in Sean McDermott? With that being said, y'all make the decision. Let's get to this Miami game because we about to slam these boys. What y'all got?
So I just want to comment on your point. I agree with you about 80%. About, first of all, them losses is not on Josh. And what I think is exactly what you said. National media right now is they want the hot topic. They want the hot take because they want the views. They want the perception of, yeah, we know what's going on, right? But any true football fan knows who watch football knows the deal, right? You know the problems that the Bills had. It's not on Josh, right? However, the only thing that I will say is I'm not sure if Sean is purposely letting Josh hang up to dry. I think he's just taking the high road because he knows it's not true. Sometimes when people accuse you of stuff or people say stuff, if you know it's not true, sometimes you don't need to respond, right? Just, okay, that's what you think. That's what you think. I do see your point about the coaches, though. The only outlier will be, to me, as far as like a different defensive head coach versus an offensive head coach, will be John Harbaugh.
Well, he's a special teams guy, and so is because this was in my notes. Trust me, I went through everything. I'll text it to you if you want to read through it.
So yeah, the reason why I say Harbaugh is because ever since I can remember the Ravens, their defense has been their that's their bread of their team is their defense.
Oh yeah,
right. He's won Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's possible you could win with a defensive coach. However, the point where you said about Mahomes and Andy Reid and all that, 100%. 100%, man.
I mean, Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson and the Prince.
Sean McVay
and Jared Goff. Jared Goff and Ben Johnson in Detroit. Yeah. Like, Jared Goff has had the best luck in the world of having great offensive minds around him in his young career and even now into his veteran career.
You said Doug Peterson and who?
Doug Peterson and the Prince.
Who's the Prince?
Trevor Lawrence.
Call him the Prince?
No, I don't call him the Prince.
That's his name? They call him the Prince?
That's his nickname.
Well, we got the Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier.
Oh,
seriously?
Yeah.
Do we?
Josh Allen's a Winter Soldier.
I'm with that.
I heard him reference that before.
Yeah, I'm with that. He got the bionic arm. Yeah, I like that. That's dope.
That's dope.
Huh?
He does kind of like the dude from Disney. I guess he could be.
A little bit. Yeah, like if you ever saw the dude without a beard, he
And then Josh had the long little hair or whatever.
Yeah. That's a win to me. But yeah, there's plenty of examples around the league. Matter of fact, if you look at what Shane Steichen has done with the Colts in Anthony Richardson's young career, the games he played, I mean, he wasn't coming in and destroying people like Mahomes did, but he was putting up numbers.
Yeah.
In the same exact way, if not better than C.J. Stroud was early on in the season. So that's another offensive guy paired with a young stud quarterback. Defensive guy in Carolina right now. Defensive guy in Carolina. Wait, am I wrong about that? Who's the head coach in Carolina?
Isn't that the linebacker coach?
Huh?
Wasn't that the linebacker coach? The one they promoted? Was that them or who was it that just promoted a linebacker coach to take over for the fired coach? No, that was who we just played.
That was Chargers.
That was the Chargers.
Yeah, that was Chargers.
Carolina's head coach is Chris.
But they did fire the head coach, didn't they? Yeah, Carolina's he got fired.
Who's that?
He did. Yeah. So they got an interim coach right now, but who did they fire? Oh, Frank Reich.
Yeah, Frank Reich.
Yeah, but Frank Reich is an old school. Like he's.
You thought he wasn't any good when he was in Indy, so
right. So I can't really say him because he wasn't a great offensive mind. I don't know how he got a lot of credit for Doug Peterson's system in Philly, and I think that's where his claim to fame was, and of course working with Peyton Manning, but. I mean, we now know it was all Peyton and it was all Doug Peterson, but yeah, again, and I said this last week. Every team that's in the playoffs right now is an offensive head coach, and to me, like when I hear special teams coordinator, I'm thinking of a guy who he doesn't necessarily have to be offensive or defensive minded. He's actually it's actually a little bit better because
he's well-rounded.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's able to see everything from all the way outside. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to say he was the coach on all three sides of the ball. He was a defensive back coach, he was a tight ends coach, special teams, so he's done it all. So he's a well-rounded coach. Right.
And we can see the effects of that obviously. I mean, he's had a great career as a head coach. So yeah, again, I hate to start the show off this way, but to me, it's more about defending our quarterback than it is anything else. And even with your point of, because I thought about that too as I was saying it. Like, you don't have to respond to everything everybody says.
Right,
I get that.
right.
But I think in the words of T.O., that's my quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't gonna talk about my quarterback like that. Like,
so that's two positions where you look at a sports team, right? If you're not doing good, it's two people you're gonna blame no matter what. I don't care if it's their fault or not. You're blaming the quarterback and the head coach. And respectfully, that's the name of the game. Like, those positions, it comes with that responsibility. If you the head coach, anything goes down, I'm blaming you. If you the quarterback and you not performing, they gonna hang the loss on you. Like, it goes with the head coach and the quarterback. So they gonna get scrutinized the most because they're looked at as the head of those teams.
Yeah.
So definitely I definitely don't think that it was Josh. Not at all. Not at all. The thing that I'm pissed off about, which I had to calm down because I know how the system is. Did y'all see my man not get a Pro Bowl nod?
yo. Okay.
Are you serious?
First alternate.
You serious?
First alternate,
Come on, man.
What does that mean?
He couldn't be an alternate at all.
So if somebody else don't want to go, he get to go?
basically.
So
No.
all right, so Key, let me ask you this. You tell me the 3 best quarterbacks right now in the AFC.
Honestly,
He don't
I'll
know.
make it quick. I'll make it quick because honestly, this whole conversation, it has a purpose. But for me, I don't care how the national media sees my team. My team about to go to the playoffs.
Right.
My team about to go to the divisional round. They about to go to the AFC Championship, and hopefully they get a bowl berth.
Right.
I don't care what the national media. We're Buffalo. They hate us. Yeah. They've hated us since 1994.
No, but that
you know they did. They had serious.
Yeah, they hated us before, but you know why? And I'm like, now that we have a good team, I see why. I see why they hated us, because even in the little bit of success that we had from time to time during the playoff drought, we never had a superstar worthy of being viewed.
Never.
Now we have that. Now they love us. They can't get enough of us. Why? Because the way our offense has played in the past in big time games is sexy as all get out. So they want that on TV. They want us in front of everybody's face. It's really marketing is all it is.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. I just don't put my thought into it because I don't care. I really just don't care.
Fair. That's
honestly,
fair.
you know how I am. I mean, I'm a Nuggets fan. Mm-hmm. I like the Sabres. I like UB.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Jordan fan. Sorry, guys. So what does that tell you? I don't care what the perception is. I like the underdog. Right. I like being under wraps, and I like busting them up.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need somebody to tell me I'm great to show you I'm great.
Right.
Matter of fact, sleep on me.
Yeah.
I'll show you what time it is. Yeah. That's how I look at it. So I get it. That's why I was silent, not because I felt like I had no voice, but because it's like
I felt just a shot. Like, come on, man. Like this, like where he don't get a shot. Right. But I understand it's popularity, it's fans, it's not. You know what I'm saying? So I understand how it got to that point.
Yep.
And two, if you look at any other league, like the NFL's Pro Bowl is. Nobody really watches it. It don't get the respect. Yep. Baseball get, hockey get. It don't get the same respect because the fans voted.
But
so the one thing that I look at, me personally, the top 100. Why?
You can look at the All Pros too.
Oh yeah, that's true. The All Pros and the All 100 because the players pick.
I was gonna say, but I'm a hypocrite. Why?
We knew that.
My man number 4. No, you're not. You serious, man? My man number 4.
He made
Himbo Cook.
He made the
Pro Bowl, baby.
First year starting, he made it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to throw shade on Dion, but he's been there before. My man Himbo, who gets? Let's see if he gets benched now.
How did he still make the Pro Bowl?
I don't know.
Who's that?
It's like they can't figure out who else to put in there, so they just default.
Left tackle for AFC.
No,
Deion
Dawkins. By all metrics, Deion Dawkins was like one of the best left tackles in the league. Still,
like per PFF, and I had this in my notes. The Bills have the 5th best offensive line in the league.
Yeah,
wow.
We're like unstoppable right now.
How? Like that's the part that drives me insane about all this is we finally have great offensive line play. Sean McDermott has what he wants in a great running game, and we're fighting for our playoff lives right now. Like, was it worth it? Was any of that worth it?
Nope.
Was James Cook making the Pro Bowl worth what
Just
we're going through right now?
I mean, personally, yeah, but
of course, because we haven't had a running back make the playoffs since what?
Marshawn Lynch?
Since Marshawn Lynch, bro.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I forgot
2017.
See,
I posted it.
See,
how do we keep forgetting about 2-5?
Listen, you know why? Because he came to us, but in his heart, he's an eagle.
We knew he was an eagle.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, but if that's the case, then Stephon Diggs is the same thing.
Huh?
I said if that's the case, Stephon Diggs is the same thing then.
I think he got more
No,
years here?
he don't bleed purple.
He got more years here?
Stephon Diggs?
Yeah.
No.
How many years he got here?
He's got 9 years. He's been here 4 years. So he's
only been in Minnesota 3 years.
5 years.
5 years?
This is his 9th year. He's only been here since 2020.
Yeah, so next year he'll be.
Man, y'all can't say that bullshit.
Yes, we can.
Y'all can't say that bullshit.
You gonna trade him?
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
I can't say you can't speak future.
Look at his production.
No, I know that.
He made his money in Buffalo.
No, that's not what I'm getting at.
Right.
I'm getting at.
Right.
You're saying he was always a Eagle. So I'm thinking, are you talking mentally or are you talking about production?
Bro, the bag is here.
And like he loved Andy Reid, like that was his guy, like you know what I'm saying? So don't get me wrong, I appreciate what he did for us, but I think at the end of the day when he's gonna retire or you know what I'm saying, he gonna retire as an Eagle.
I mean, I don't know. Well,
he's
that's
still
he reps Buffalo hard body. Shady rep. Let somebody say something bad about Buffalo.
No,
he definitely defended you. He definitely defended
in certain spots and in certain ways, right? So I'll give you an example. He's been talking about the past 2 days defending Josh Allen, like hard body, right?
Season, yeah.
And pretty much all week he's been defending Josh Allen. But he said something very specific that I thought was key. He asked James Jones, what other quarterback do you think could come onto the Bills right now and do what Josh Allen has done for this team and put them where they're at? That says a whole lot. You know why? Because what he's really trying to get to is the whole rest of the team ain't as great as everybody make it out to be.
Right.
It's really not.
Yeah, and that statement that kind of goes into my point that I think LaShawn McCoy is Buffalo. You know, even though he's not here anymore. Right there, and what I've seen because I don't watch national media. I don't care. They don't cover the Bills. We've talked about it. I don't look at the NFL. I don't care about the NFL. I care about the Bills. So when I'm watching that, if I don't see red, white, and blue and Sean McDermott or Josh Allen or somebody like that, off you go.
Click.
Who's playing basketball? I respect you guys because this is what you guys love it. See, I'm a basketball junkie, but you guys love this.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think what I thought when I clarified what I was saying, I thought you were saying that LaShawn McCoy was, that his mind was elsewhere, like with Steph Diggs in terms of his brother in Dallas, and he's from Washington, and you never know if he wants to be here. That's where I thought. But yeah, you're right. In the productivity standpoint, you're right.
Yeah, for me, I think because I get what you're saying, and I actually used to be that way. I used to be like, national media, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't live here. They don't really cover the team day to day. But then I had to realize, in order for me to have an objective opinion, I got to be seeing every side of this. Right. I got to see it from their perspective, and I got to be able to see it from our perspective. And then I'll make my decisions from there. I'll have my takes from there. But, I think to a degree, every Bills fan should have a mind to try and be aware of what's being said about the team from a national perspective.
Well, yeah. Only
because sometimes when you're in the forest, you can't see the forest through the trees. Like sometimes you need to be able to step outside the forest to see what's really going on.
I guess I kind of equate what I do because, this here, believe it or not, got me in a podcast rabbit hole. You should see my YouTube listing, what I do at work. I'm working, of course, but what I do at work, I'm watching other teams' podcasts and what they're saying about the Bills. I watch other Locked Ons. I watch. So I don't care about James Jones. I don't care about Rex Ryan. I care about like Locked Ons, people like us that really put time and effort in their passion.
Right.
Because they're not making millions to do it. They're going to be passionate about it. And I'll listen to them all day long. So, ESPN, I haven't turned on ESPN in years.
Yeah.
So I do think that you're right. You do need to know, because I like guys that don't flip-flop. If you hate us, you hate us.
Right.
And give us credit where it's due, but you don't have to jump on.
So you saying you a fan of Nick Wright then?
He's national. Honestly, I might be.
I'm just joking.
I might be.
He's consistently hated Josh Allen and the Bills for I don't know how long.
He's waiting for the Bills to implode.
Oh, my God.
He's waiting on the Bills to implode. I read some of his stuff.
He still is. He still does.
I know he is. I saw it earlier today. So.
Yeah, like it's unbelievable how this dude behaves the same way with the Chiefs that he claims other people behave with the Bills. He finds every single way possible to make excuses for why the Chiefs lose. And even in the Raiders game, he said Mahomes only made one mistake. He only made one mistake. He played terribly through the whole entire game. The interception was just a microcosm.
He's been bad.
Like, right. We take all that with a grain of salt. But nevertheless,
good to know.
Thank you for everybody that's already tuned in and been watching. Thank you for your patience while we get through the venting process of stuff we heard. Now on to the game. The game.
Them Dolphins.
Well, before we do that, I did have this is stuff we heard that's kind of relevant to the game.
Okay.
Actually, this is a good segue. Cool. I did some sleuthing, and I realized now that Sunday
sleuthing
stressed out.
Why?
Because potentially, if we win, we go to number 2.
Yep.
And we play either the Steelers, Browns, Jags, or Colts.
Yeah.
If we lose, the Chiefs, Miami again.
Yep.
Or we don't play anybody.
Yep.
Yeah. So if we win, who I know you don't want to see the Browns, but the Colts? I'm guessing you guys would want to see
the Colts. Yep. Bring on the Colts.
Gardner Minshew.
Yep. I take him all day.
I would want to go to the Chiefs. We already beat
them. If we lose, you want to go to the Chiefs?
We already beat them.
Knocked out already. Just like, hey,
just get them right out.
Stop playing around.
Yep.
Give me what everybody want to see, so we can prove that we better than these boys and send them home.
Off jump.
Send them home.
Yep.
Just bust them out.
We did it once. We gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
again. That's if we. I have no doubt we're gonna win this game.
You're gonna tell us why too, because you told us on Monday.
Oh yeah.
You were gonna convince me, and I don't need convincing.
Listen,
but I'm scared because I'm always scared.
I titled this bad boy "The NFL Just Made a Mistake." This episode because the snub of Josh Allen not making the Pro Bowl. If Josh didn't already have a chip on his shoulder for all the talk this week,
did you see
what?
Who's the fourth alternate? The fourth alternate is who?
Josh.
No, fourth.
Oh, the fourth.
Oh, it's Kincaid.
Who's the fifth alternate?
Stop it.
Is it Knox?
No, say it. Say it.
No, I'm not saying it. I refuse to even look at you.
You're going to say
and
Dalton.
Acknowledge
I'm sorry.
he's a Pro Bowl
Dalton
alternate.
Dalton
he's been
Kincaid.
out for half the season.
Yo,
but he qualifies Dalton Kincaid.
Yo, how do he make fifth? What is his stats?
They ran out of tight ends. That's okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't really care because I just wanted him to say it.
Mark Andrews was hurt. I mean, did David Njoku make the Pro Bowl?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who. It was only reason I know seriously is because of that graphic I posted on our Instagram and Facebook. It had them at the bottom.
Wow.
So I saw that they were all at the bottom of the thing, and Josh was first alternate, and I didn't think about where they laid, but I just knew they were there, and I saw James Cook. I said,
yeah.
I was proud.
Lindsay writes in. She said, "Hey guys, I heard Nick Wright's name come up, and my food almost came up."
Lindsay, how you doing?
Can't stand that dude. Listen, we can't either. I tolerate him because I like the other two guys on that show. First things first. But yeah,
who else is on there? Who else is on that show?
Chris Broussard and Wilds. I forget his first name, but he's funny.
Broussard is creepy though.
Why is Broussard creepy?
He's like the Adam Schefter of basketball.
I'm cool with that.
No, it's creepy because it's like right now, Junie knows it'd be like I don't know. Steph Curry gets traded to Oklahoma City, and everybody's like, huh? Whatever. But it'll happen like in 15 minutes. Nobody else will. They'll all be like,
oh, what? You know why though? Like I love the way his mind works.
He got mad respect too, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's one of the most prepared dudes in the business. Like he knows his stuff. Absolutely. I love that about him. Like he does his work, right? So that Chris Broussard. So that's one of the reasons why I watch the show. I like him and I like Wiles. Like Wiles is funny. He's spontaneous and he says stupid stuff all the time.
I miss Shannon's shirt.
Huh?
I miss Shannon's shirt.
Shay.
Uncle Shay.
Yeah.
Shay.
I just watched the podcast.
Yeah.
I watched his podcast.
Podcast is funny.
Yeah. Okay. So it was that.
Well, I just wanted. You might like this. Atlanta Falcons are expected to pursue Eric Bieniemy for head coach.
Who is
Atlanta Falcons?
After Arthur Smith has only had a year there.
Frank Wright only had half a year.
That's true. That's very true.
They got no tolerance. I don't want to get you going again, but
that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
They weren't good there. They weren't good. They didn't use their star tight end. They had Desmond Ridder as a quarterback. He's terrible. I guess it just didn't work out. What is he? Is he defensive or offensive?
Yeah,
he's a run heavy guy, right?
Yeah. He's a what?
He's a run heavy guy, right?
Not necessarily, but he's a much better version of Baltimore's ex-coordinator.
Oh, Roman?
Yeah, Greg Roman. He's a much better version.
Why he ain't say ours?
Yeah,
he forgot. He didn't want to give us no.
He was claiming him.
No, he's like he wasn't here.
He
wasn't here.
My man.
But wait a minute. Wait. Wasn't Roman the OC when Shady was going to Pro Bowls?
Was he?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm about to say that's all he has. Because then after that, we had a whole bunch of no-name wide receivers.
That was Rex Ryan's coordinator, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Greg
A whole
Roman.
bunch of no-name wide receivers, and it was
Never
bad.
had a 300-yard game.
No.
Actually, Tyrod, I think, had one.
He might have had one. You know, I got to look this up. So we're going to. I wouldn't know, huh?
I think he did, but it was an overtime.
Yeah, right.
I knew it was something to it. It was some kind of fluky stat that he had. Like, he had 300 yards. Yeah, no. It was like the end of overtime by the time he got that.
And just for context, before we go into the game, the way this man over here to my left feels about Sean McDermott, multiply that tenfold, and that's how I felt about Tyrod Taylor.
Why?
Yo, that was a waste of what? 4 years of my life, 3 years.
No,
of my life? No.
Okay.
No.
You have
No.
to think about it like
a
this.
serial placeholder. No.
You have to think about it like this.
Thank you, McDermott, for taking him out of here.
Has he not looked like a better quarterback under Brian Daboll?
To me, he looked the same, bro.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
the
that-
same
The
dude.
same.
Okay.
That almost beat us, but no, that doesn't matter.
But that's what Tyrod was good for, though. Like,
Right.
he not turning the ball over, right? He not gonna win a whole bunch of games,
He's very-
but he gonna keep you in the game.
He's gonna keep you in the game.
He gonna keep you in the game.
And that's the thing. This is a case of Devin Singletary versus James Cook, Tyrod versus Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take these negatives because look at the positives.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know I was silent on the Josh Allen thing you said, but now this is local.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll take Josh Allen, even though I blame the Jets game on Josh. I'll take Josh Allen those risks over anything Tyrod ever did. Now the problem with Josh Allen going forward with the interceptions was those risks he had in the Jets. How many of those same throws were the ones that got intercepted later in the season? So that's kind of where I am with it. That's kind of like you and that shotgun scamper you love so much.
Oh my God, I can't stand it.
But without further ado, I'm not going to interrupt you anymore. Going to Miami, 8:20 on Sunday. What's happening with it?
Yeah.
Talk to me, fellas.
Real quick, Christopher writes in,
is it? See?
let's go with like 17 O's, Bills.
Oh, wait,
Shout
yo.
out to Chris.
Is Chris Dak?
Huh?
Is Chris Dak?
Here we go.
Okay. Anyway, what you got on the game, Mac? What you got on the game?
Man, I am ready for all the smoke in Miami.
In your mind, what is the one thing that makes you know that we're going to dominate this game?
Josh Allen, man.
I love it.
Josh
I love
Allen.
it. That's
Like,
enough.
So listen, in Josh Allen's career, he's 9-2 against Miami. Right? 9 times out of 10, he mostly always balls out against Miami. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he like this is Miami, it's hot. I don't know what it is, but he gets one of his best games in Miami. Like when we play Miami, like he plays up to the competition. So I'm looking forward to Josh because like the naysayers have said, oh, I don't know if I could trust this guy. Oh, the offense look a little shaky. Oh, the passing game's not in cahoots right. Diggs is not happy. I wanted to shut all that up and then whoop on them in Miami, in their house.
Right. I saw some great stats today. In the Mike McDaniels era, Josh is 4-1 against him. He's thrown 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's dominant to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Chris Broussard had a beautiful stat. I wouldn't have even thought to look this up, and I'm glad I just decided to catch it. He said, he said the Bills have the highest average scoring against good teams in the entire league, over the 49ers, over the Ravens. So whenever the Bills are playing an above 500 team or a top tier team, we score the most points out of anybody in the entire league. We've proven it.
Right.
This whole season has been, if you're a good team, we come into play.
Right.
We come in to push our fist down your throat.
Yep.
Like, I don't see how this game doesn't end up like that. I really don't.
Now
I'm sorry, real quick. Lindsay writes in, Bill's injury report, Mitch Morris did not practice Friday due to illness.
he's sick.
Yeah.
Yep, listed as questionable for Sunday's game. You know what? I got to be honest, Lindsay. I don't think there would be a big drop-off if we had Ryan Bates go and play center. For all of what Mitch Morse does with the calls and just kind of organizing things on the front line, I think Ryan Bates is just as adept in his knowledge of being able to make the right calls and reads and stuff like that. And he's actually a little bit better of a run blocker than Mitch Morse is. Mitch Morse, especially at this point of his career, is he's kind of relegated to being a pretty good pass blocker, and he's kind of always been that throughout his whole career. But part of the reason the Chiefs got rid of him and let him go into free agency was they wanted to get more into running the ball, and he didn't really fit that mold. So I don't think it's going to be a huge loss if he doesn't play. Obviously, you want your starters in there, and he does offer things that Ryan Bates doesn't have, namely size and just more experience and all that kind of stuff, especially in big games. But I do believe Ryan Bates could do the job in a pinch, especially against the Dolphins. I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
So I don't think that he's going to have, which I hope he does, but it's probably not going to happen. I want him to have the same game he had when we played him here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, he went 320 yards, 85% completion rate, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Dude, I want the same
dominated
game.
them boys.
I want the same game.
How can we not have the same game in 60 degrees?
Now, the only reason why is because another thing. So I don't count the London game, but we're 7-1 at home, right? Technically, by stats, we're 7-2 because they're counting that as a home game, but it's not a home game. So at home, at Bills at Highmark, we're 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins are 7-1 at Hard Rock. So that's the thing. Like, I want him to just obliterate this team, but they are playing in Miami. Miami would rather be the 2nd seed than the 5th. So
100%.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though, like I said, I want him to just straight dominate. Logically, I don't think it's gonna happen that way. But I still think he's gonna have a great game. He's gonna ball out even still. But he's the one factor. Like, I don't know how people say I can't trust Josh Allen. Like, how many games have this man not got a touchdown, like a rushing touchdown? Like, it's
not
if you want to bet some money,
yeah,
bet on my man Josh.
Yeah.
Like, to me, he's the only thing that I could really hang my hat on. Is I know Josh Allen is gonna ball out. I know he is.
That's actually a good point. Christopher writes in, do we want the Steelers and Jags to win or one of those two teams to lose, so that going into Miami, we still have a chance to make the playoffs if we don't win that game? Like, would you prefer to have that cushion, or do you want the Bills playing desperate, basically?
Well, this is.
I want to go for the kill, man.
Oh yeah,
because like we said it in other shows, I don't want to get in because of somebody else.
Right.
I want you to take the destiny in your hands.
Right.
You got in the playoffs because you won, not because this team lost or this team. You got in on your own merit because you did what you're supposed to do.
Well, this is how I look at it. I can see this being a game where McDermott confiscates phones. And the reason why I say that, is because those games are going to matter to us.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Bills are going to know about those scores until they get, in the midst of the game.
Because it's a 4 o'clock, and one of them is a 4 and one is a 1, right?
One is on Saturday night, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Steelers are playing the Ravens on Saturday night.
They'll know about the Saturday night one.
Will they?
But
Well, you think? I mean, it might be in Sean's wheelhouse to lock them in the practice facility for
I could
48
see
hours.
It's been done. It's been done before. Not
Really?
that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who?
I don't know. I don't remember. I can't tell you exactly who it was, but I can tell you an instance where a coach didn't let them have TVs in the rooms. Nothing. Their phones were
Where
taken
did they
away.
Stay?
They were in a hotel.
Oh.
Well, we're in Miami, so we're in a
They
hotel.
already left. The Bills already left.
They're gonna leave. No, they're gonna leave on Saturday morning. Saturday. Early
Okay,
Saturday.
so essentially he could do that. He could.
Yeah, that's what I'm
TVs
saying.
out
So
of the room.
technically he could. They could impose curfews where they can't leave the hotel. They can't have their phones because they've done that before. They take their phones, they take their TVs, whatever the case may be. They have no outside contact.
we need you to focus
Chris,
on this
Lindsay,
game.
who however many other people are watching, do you think that's a good idea? You think Sean should take the TVs and everything out the room? I personally think grown men are grown men, and you should still be able to do your job regardless.
No, the only reason I say it is because look at how he handled the Ravens game last weekend, where he didn't let them put it on the board.
Yeah.
I think McDermott's
That's in
mind.
game though. Like,
Well, I
to me,
think
that's
McDermott's mind is I don't want to focus. I don't want my guys focused on it. I don't want them looking
True.
at that.
True.
Now it's going to be hard when you have no jurisdiction over the scoreboard in Hard Rock.
Right,
But for the most part, I think that he's one of those guys dialed in and not care about anything else. But yeah, I would love the insurance of one of those teams losing, so we definitely get in. because we have guys, Mitch Morris, we have Josh that's banged up. We got, guys that are injured that you can say, okay, this game isn't going the way we want it to. Let's pull them. We'll just take the 7 seed or 6 seed, whatever it is, we're in regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, so of course I want somebody to lose. I don't want it to come down to 0-0-0 in the fourth quarter. But I hope we win, like Mel said, go for blood, and you're going to hear that when we talk about the game even further. I'm going to be right with you on that.
Okay, so real quick, because I actually want to go last.
I saw you smirk. What happened?
Real quick, and correct me if I'm wrong in saying the name LMB or LXB, one of the two. I correct me if I'm wrong. They said no. They don't need the TVs to be taken out of the room. If that's what you're talking about, let me know. He doesn't need the TVs taken out of the room.
I agree with you, and I agree with you. Said LMB,
LXB or LNB, because
Okay.
you know how people sometimes put X for and.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. I can see both sides. I mean, like you said, I think men are men.
Yeah.
You should be able to. What Marshawn Lynch say? Handle your chickens. You should be able to do that. So
He always got some weird sayings.
he does, just because he eats Skittles during the game. That's weird. But and Hennessy, he drinks Hennessy before the game and eats Skittles during the game. That was his ritual.
I mean, that explains his style of play.
Hey, beast.
That's what I'm saying. You can take all the hits if you ain't feeling nothing. So come on with it. Let's go. Okay.
But
I'll
yeah,
take
so
that.
no, I ain't gonna cut you off.
So give me your main number one reason why you think the Bills are going to win this game, because I see it all over you. Like you.
Oh, you see the fear?
Yeah, huh?
You see the fear?
No, I don't see no fear. You seem like a confident man.
The reason why the Bills should win, I think the Bills should win, or I know they're gonna win. I'm sorry, because I see the defense carrying over from last week.
Agreed.
Yeah, so I think that's the major contributor, because who saw that coming? And who really has enough time to plan for that? I mean, it's the same defense. They just had a swagger, but we didn't see all season.
Yeah. Chris says he sees both sides on the TV thing.
Thanks, Chris.
No. Okay. So my number one reason why I believe the Bills are going to dominate this game, and Matt kind of stole my thunder a little bit.
Yeah,
just a tad.
But I think the Pro Bowl snub is going to be the final straw. I think the entire team is going to take that personally, that their quarterback did not make the Pro Bowl when he's the second best quarterback in the entire league, if not the best.
and the opposing quarterback did.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
Come on.
Now,
Tua, little bitty Tua,
See, that's the issue.
who's basically who's the quarterback of the 49ers?
Brock Purdy.
He's Brock Purdy East.
Only with better, with,
you know what I'm saying?
With the receiver almost went for 2,000 yards.
Right.
I mean, he came off like a crazy man at the beginning. He just petered out. And we knew it was going to happen. TD Finn's he talks about that as well. Guys, sidebar, if you hear TD Finn's, if you want to laugh, go watch them after they lose. You want to laugh, go watch this podcast after they lose. It's funny as ever. Core meltdown.
Real quick, Lindsay writes in, you can't stop the players to know who won, at least the Saturday game. She thinks the Baltimore's backups have a better chance of beating the Steelers than the Titans beating the Jags. I got to be honest, Lindsay. I think in the Titans game, we still have to find out whether or not Trevor Lawrence is going to play, because C.J. Beathard, their backup, didn't do well last week at all. So I think if C.J. Beathard's playing, we should actually be rooting for the Titans in that one, because they could absolutely win that game. I think their only healthy quarterback right now is Tannehill.
Yeah, and for the Steelers, Mason Rudolph, he looked good, bro.
Yeah,
He looked good.
Yeah, but he's got Joe Flacco-itis. I'm not hearing that.
He's got what?
Joe Flacco-itis. I'm not hearing that nonsense.
What is Joe Flacco-itis?
The illusion that this man is actually about something. Because what you sent me, I'm not going to go into it, because the thing you sent me earlier, the graphic where it said the one guy deserves the most the comeback player of the year because of what happened on the field in Buffalo and Cincinnati. The other guy, I'll say, he deserves a trophy because he sucked last year, but he doesn't suck this year. That's Flacco-itis. I deserve comeback player of the year because I'm a 38-year-old guy that sucked the last year I played, and now I'm somehow good because nobody thought I was going to play. And I'm a complete difference from what people thought Cleveland was going to do at the quarterback anyway.
But Rudolph didn't. He had the opportunity last year.
So did Flacco. Not with that team though.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys knew it when we took Josh. I didn't think we were going to do all that trading. I had Mason Rudolph as one of my quarterbacks. Obviously, Lamar was my first pick, and then Mason Rudolph I thought was the other one.
So is that what it is? It's a fantasy-related issue? Like
No.
Mason Rudolph didn't perform for
Fantasy?
you?
Oh,
now
no.
he's on the hit list?
Oh, no. But no, I think Mason Rudolph has the intangible. He has a talent to play.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when he had James Washington, his teammate, when he were at Oklahoma State. Yeah. But I just see a higher ceiling out of Rudolph than I did out of Beathard or anybody else.
Yeah.
I think Rudolph could be a starter on a bad team.
Yeah,
he could be what's
the
the guy? Gardner Minshew.
For the Colts?
Yeah, he could be that kind of player, like that kind of bridge starter. Jacoby
He could make a career out of that. Yeah. There's been players that definitely did
Let's
that.
ask Chase Daniel.
But I definitely see Mason Rudolph. I think they can beat the backups for the Ravens, man. Yeah. Like they're hungry. They want to get in.
Well,
if
if Tyler Huntley is able to play I couldn't say it without breaking a smile. If Tyler Huntley can play at his Pro Bowl level,
oh yes,
he's got a Pro Bowl under his belt. But I mean, there's still a chance that he can play well and still win that game.
Off rip, he is my second favorite backup quarterback in the NFL.
Huntley,
hands down, bro.
Oh yeah,
I love that dude.
Your second favorite backup quarterback.
He gives me here's the thing though. He kind of to me he's
nice.
like a slightly better Tyrod though.
Yeah,
like because he actually.
Keyshawn left the show. He out of here.
I was gonna say something profound, but that's not a tweet.
I'm sorry. I'll try not to mention that name from now on. We'll just say he who shall not be named. Real quick, LXB writes in, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are we about
I can
this
finally
game?
I can be honest now?
Yeah, you can be honest.
On the scale of 1 to 10, how nervous am I? Right now, as we sit in this studio, I am about an 8.
8?
I'm about an 8.
Really?
Now, you got to factor in the coefficient. I'm always nervous about things I can't control.
Right.
Oh,
so
Right.
being a former athlete, watching basketball, watching football, watching anything, I'm sitting here at the mercy of whoever's on the field. It's tough for me.
Yep.
But as a fan, I think the stakes of this, going back to 2004 against the Steelers when you're in, the Ravens.
The Willie Parker.
Yeah. I have the heebie-jeebies. Doesn't make me less of a fan. I am right there with you, but I am nervous. The same way I sat there, I remember the Texans when we first got to the playoffs, the Texans game. Me and T, my girlfriend, were in the car before the game, and I couldn't focus on anything. I was so nervous. I couldn't focus on anything. I was sitting there. She was like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Bill's about to play." They're not playing yet. I said, when end of the game, the end of the regulation when they were down, I turned the TV off and started crying. Yeah. And I was like, it's over, man. I was pissed. My dad had to text me and say, it's not over yet. I'm like, what? I turned that bad boy on so fast. Dude, I am emotional. So when I say I'm a Bills, maybe not like everybody else, but man, I'm telling you, you better think about me when you're watching this game.
Yeah, it's weird. For the 13 seconds game, when we first started watching it, I didn't really start getting nervous until the ball was kicked off. I think the energy and everything that I was seeing is what kind of made me nervous. It kind of made me feel like I was like there about to actually play the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me, I had to kind of emotionally remove myself from the moment for a second, just so that I wouldn't overreact to stuff. Because after the first quarter, I was just like, forget this game, we gonna lose. You know what I mean? Like I was in my feelings at that point. I was mad, right? But I decided to stick with it, and we all know what happened from there.
Yeah.
But I mean, for this game for me, and then I'll get to we got a couple of comments. This game for me is, I kind of hate to take it here, but there's certain times when I can look at a situation and just tell, like, there's no way the Bills are gonna lose this game.
Listen to him
no way.
Listen to him and not me. Listen to Mel and not
no
me.
way the Bills are gonna lose this game, right? There's too much momentum. There's too much of a demand from the Bills players. Like that's the biggest thing. The level of desperation and desire for this game. It's almost as if, like, based on the way that this team is played, and they've literally just been scrappy for the last 4 weeks. And 5, you can say 5, right? But they've just been scrappy. Whatever it takes to win, it don't have to be pretty. I don't care what's on the board at the end of the game. Is it a W?
Right.
I'm cool with it. Let's move on next week. Let's go. Right? So what that tells me is two things. First off, this is a team that we consistently dominate on a regular basis. Whether it's Mike McDaniels or the coaches before them or the coaches before them, we own the Dolphins. Josh owns the Dolphins. Period. There's no arguing with that. None. Right? And even in the Miami game last year, we still own that team. The only thing that beat us was the weather.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like the Dolphins can even say, well, we had y'all last year when y'all came here, so we're going to get y'all. No. Y'all don't have the sun this time.
Right.
Y'all got a breezy 60, maybe 50 degrees, because I was just talking to somebody like a couple days ago, and it was down in the 40s in Florida. Right? So to me, this game is going to be a situation. Lindsay said I literally got sick after 13 seconds. I think a lot of people did. But
I don't remember what I did. I blacked out.
Yo, I was depressed for 3 days.
I think I was. I think I was too. I literally don't remember what happened. That part of my life is gone.
Yeah, I was working for a nonprofit at the time, and I went in the next day, and it was the quietest I'd ever heard that entire building.
That was a severely emotional game for me.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, because it's like you go and you score the go ahead touchdown, and it happens at a time where you kind of don't think it's gonna happen. LXB said he cried after Wyatt Wright. Man, now you taking it back. I
can't look at that. You still can't look at that.
Exactly. You know, so but yeah, I think just because I want to get to these other two comments real quick.
Absolutely.
For me, it's just I have no doubt. Like for me, being nervous is owning doubt. And I refuse to do that. Like if it naturally comes up at the beginning of the game, okay, whatever, fine. But right now, based on what I know about my team and what I've seen them do against this team and what I know the stakes are and what I know my team can play like when it really matters. Yeah. We've seen that the last 4 weeks when it really matters. And they've been saying we've been in playoff mode this whole time. Okay, fine. What does that mean? 4 wins.
Right.
That's the bottom line. Real quick before we get to Mac, let me see. So after LXB asked this question, Chris wrote in, I don't know about TD Finns. The Titans game was awesome. You might have to clarify that one, Chris. I'm not sure I understand where you're coming from. And then Lindsay wrote in, I never eat before a Bills game. My nerves are always through the roof. Yeah, I don't think that would be a good idea. And this might help you a little bit, but some breathing techniques, obviously, and maybe Keyshawn can walk you through what he does because he gets nervous before every game.
I do.
What do you typically do?
Honestly, when I sit down, I kind of just I just look at it and I'm like, okay, I can't control this. It's the first quarter. They didn't make a return a kick. Nobody's hurt. I look at what I do honestly, and this is what I do seriously. Yeah. The first thing I do is I look at Josh's face. That's the first thing I do.
Really?
I look to see how Josh looks. If you can tell if he's dialed in or not. Like you said, Josh Allen is the reason why we win the game. Mm-hmm. And that's how I always feel. Mm-hmm. When we used to play the Patriots, when he was young, he had a swagger about him his first year, his second year. But when you look at his face when he played Tom Brady, it was different. He played nervous. Okay. Then when he went to the playoff game against the Texans, you look at his face in the beginning, nervous. Now, the killer instinct in the Chiefs game, we had seen that movie before the year before when we lost to him. Mm-hmm. But the second year, he had a swagger. He knew. He said, I own this game. This is me and Mahomes. Now, where I will oppose the 13-second thing was I remember watching. I was like, it's too much time. As soon as they got to, I said, it's too much time. I knew they were going to score.
13 seconds?
Yeah. I give Mahomes so much respect when it comes to the unorthodox. Yeah. When it comes to making the impossible happen, because he's done it too many times. And, you got Travis Kelce. I was like, I don't know, but I don't feel good about this. And I said that. And unfortunately, it occurred. But we were in that game. But after that game, I expected next year to be the year where we go to – because we done it. Steph Diggs was mad. Josh Allen had the swagger. I was ready. And we fell off the wagon.
Right. Chris clarified. He said the TD Finns meltdown after a Dolphins loss.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
And you were saying it too. Like, wait, who? Somebody was saying you was telling me she gonna offer him a beverage. Offer him a bit.
Yeah.
You want me to make you some tea?
Rubs back. Offer him a beverage. Give him some tea. There you go.
You want me to make you some tea? Yeah.
Make him some tea.
I thought this was a good point Chris made earlier in the chat. He said, "I'm really nervous, not of Miami, but of us beating us." That brings about a good question. Let me ask y'all this: in other situations like this, where it's been, we can even just say playoffs, right? What has been your expectation level on a scale of 1 to 10 of Josh beating Josh?
That's a tough one. Because like I said, when I look in his eyes and before the game, I can kind of tell where he is. Now, there's a slippery slope there because if Josh is too juiced up, Josh beats Josh. If Josh is out of it, Josh beats Josh because he took himself out of it mentally.
Yeah.
Now, when he's juiced up, he sees nobody on defense. And I'm not saying that to say he can't read the field, but his arm talent to him is so vast. It's so great. I don't care what y'all do. I'm going to put this ball through your chest. You know, Steph Diggs is somewhere over there. I'm going to him. And I don't care. Beat me. But in this kind of game, there's nothing you can't do that. You got to be smart and still have a swagger to you.
Chris writes in, so I want the Bills to win to see TD Finn's meltdown.
Yes.
And the airport will be crazy if we take the division Sunday. Yeah. Absolutely right.
Yeah, it'll be there.
Absolutely right. LXB, a couple of emojis here. The chair and a guy with a crown. Can you clarify that for me, please? When you get
the king's here, the king on the throne.
Okay, is that what it is? Is there not a throne emoji?
I don't know.
I need to check that. There should be one.
I'm almost 40. I have no idea.
If they got people with crowns, there should be a throne somewhere in there.
It is, but only if you have iPhone.
Well,
we're not gonna get into
no. I'm not saying it as a like.
No, I know. I'm just okay.
I'm Android. I'm gonna clarify. So if you guys we're cancel culture here, I am Android. So.
Cancel culture. Please don't leave the show because I have an Android phone.
Samsung Knights over here.
Oh,
Samsung Knights.
LXB said TD hiding behind the chair.
Yes.
I didn't see that far into it.
Oh, he was like, I don't know how much you said. He was like. Yeah, it was hilarious. That's what he was like. Give him some tea. Offer him some tea. But to go to your point, I while you were talking, I was doing it. I don't know if you saw it on my screen, but I was doing a spreadsheet while we were talking about the comparison of Josh and Tua. Okay, so it is really close. The completion percentage in their career against the opposite team, so Buffalo versus Tua and Josh versus Miami. Josh is at 67%. Tua's at 61%. Tua only averages 1.25 touchdowns and 1.25 interceptions, so he's a 1-to-1 basically. Where Josh has 5 touchdowns to 1, I guess you want to say, less than 1. Josh is sacked 2 times to Tua's 3, and Josh averages 277 yards a game to Tua's 240.
So, like, for me, from my nervous level, I'm probably like a 6.
A 6?
You're a 6.
Only reason why I'm at a 6 is because I know how important this game is.
That's surprising. Like, you usually the unmovable dude.
But he said unmovable.
Now listen,
I'm a 6.
Now listen. There's 100% that I think the Bills are going to win.
Okay.
However, the reason why I'm nervous is, again, this is football, man. Like, it's not like basketball. It's not like hockey where, okay, you mess up today, you can always rebound tomorrow. Not to crow Rocky, but there is no tomorrow. Yeah. Like, there is no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen games where good teams has lost because turnovers or stupid plays or, you know what I'm saying, stuff that happens and it just – melts down and just goes boom, boom, boom. Like in the beginning of the game, like if we get a turnover, a stupid call or a stupid penalty, right? That could affect the game. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that the Bills can't overcome it, but it just puts you in a bad situation because now that adrenaline you had, that hype you had, is gone now because like, oh snap, we just fumbled. Now they about to score. You know what I'm saying? So now you're playing from behind, and I don't like that. So my nervousness comes from the importance of the game.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about the Bills not winning. Like if it was, I'm not worried about them not being able to beat the Dolphins.
It's just, man, there's a lot on the line
Yes.
right now.
Well, I like your
One and done.
analogy for an interception or fumble, and it takes everything away. Because in basketball and hockey and every other sport, what do? You throw a bad pass, you get back on defense.
Yeah.
Right.
In football, you throw a bad pass, you got to go watch and put it in.
Right.
And now you feel what I feel because now you have no control.
Right.
So I like that. It was perfect.
Right.
There's a we got a couple of comments. Lindsay wrote in, I get a little relief at the fact that the 13 seconds game was a playoff game. I couldn't imagine 13 seconds in the Super Bowl.
Oh man.
You trying to really depress everybody on this show right now.
Right. That'll be right number 2.
Yeah, I can't imagine it either. I refuse. Matter of fact, let's just move on
I
from
think
that.
most of Buffalo would just implode. We wouldn't have a city anymore.
Yeah, no, listen, you're right.
It wouldn't be on the map anymore.
Right.
Google, it'd be
Whole
like Google
city would
Maps.
explode.
You Google Maps and it's just a big black circle of nothing.
Gone.
And Lindsay would still be in Florida having the best time watching Buffalo melt down after 13 seconds in the Super Bowl. This is what you have created, Lindsay. The woman made a comment.
The woman?
The woman made a comment. She said, "Good analogy."
Oh.
Yeah.
Shout out to my baby
She
boo.
rocking with you. She rocking with you.
Wait,
love
so-
it. Huh?
T out there? No. Ken, what you got? I know you can't really type yet, but what you got, Ken? Nothing.
Oh my God.
Okay, so
that's
baby
funny.
boo, since you like the analogy, why do you like the analogy? Huh?
Yeah. Put that in the comments.
Say
Yeah.
it with your chest. Nah. Thank you for watching. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Chris says they are having a battle. They're having a battle podcast. Bills versus Miami at 7:30 tonight. AFC East roundtable.
Yes. Is it
Yeah,
Z-Bot?
Z-Bot and one other.
Yeah,
and
they
TD
started.
fan. Okay.
Oh, Dan
Yeah,
Mitchell?
last
That's
night.
my man. Dan Mitchell, that's my man.
Yeah.
That's my man right
All right.
there.
Yeah, he was on smoke break with Z-Bot yesterday, I think, and they do this podcast. I think they just started either yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
So,
All
yeah.
right. So this thought came to me real quick while you were talking about your level of nervousness. The Bills have a distant relative that has accomplished what it looks like the Bills have the potential to accomplish right now. I'm going to take it back to the Giants that went and beat the undefeated Patriots that year, right? Their main issues early on in the season was they didn't really have a running game. And Tiki Barber had a hard time with fumbles. Yeah. He wasn't holding the ball right.
Yeah.
Right? And they got to about the same point of the season that we did, and they ripped off like 5 or 6 wins and at the end of the season, and they just roared into the playoffs. Yeah. And they had to travel for every game.
You're right, because there was a wild card team.
Yeah.
But they came in swinging. And they took down the top teams in the NFC.
Exactly.
They took them all down, and then they had to go against the undefeated.
They won in Green Bay in like blizzard, like Eli Manning's face was completely beat red. Like it was a cold day that game. Yeah. LXB says greatest story ever told. Yeah, for sure. But that's what I see happening with this Bills team. Again, the Giants at that time were not a pretty offense. And even in the Super Bowl, they still weren't, but they were doing whatever it took to win, whether it was pretty, ugly, whatever, they were getting the W. And that's exactly what we see the Buffalo Bills doing. Now, it took Tiki Barber holding that ball up straight, like that in that awkward position that you saw, like because you used to running backs holding it down here, right? But Tiki Barber started holding that bad boy like this.
He took it back to Lil Luke.
Yeah, like he trying to burp that baby or something. You know what I'm saying? But he fixed his fumbles. The run game developed, and they got into sync with meshing the run game and the pass game, and the defense started playing lights out, and it clicked. Right? And you see the same exact thing happening with this team now. You see the defense starting to play out of their mind. We got DQ back on the line. And again, whenever DQ is playing, that unlocks Ed Oliver to a whole nother level, right? So now the pass rush is back. Yeah. Our secondary right now is I just saw something. Rasul Douglas is 5th in the league per PFF, and Taron Johnson is 11th, and I think Christian Benford is like 13th or something like that, or so, like they're all top 15 or something like that.
Another
right?
playoff snub, Pro Bowl snub.
Yeah, Rasul Douglas.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
You look at his stats compared to Sauce, he beat him in every category.
Wow.
Well, the thing about Sauce, the thing about it's the name. He's got sauce
Right.
at Buffalo Wild Wings. It's delicious, honestly. But but no, I think So what numbers are we looking at? Are we looking at pass breakups, interceptions?
Pass breakups, interceptions.
Now this is my
Pass
question.
defense.
This is my question, and you don't have to answer because this is just me. What I would look at. Who's been targeted more? My thing is who is being picked on, who's being susceptible to getting stats versus they I'm not throwing sauce his way.
Right.
Like Revis, I'm not throwing that way.
Yeah.
So I'm still a pro bowler, but
Exactly.
I got no stats because they know better.
Because they fear me, so
Right.
they don't even come my way. 'Cause
Right.
They already know they don't want no parts of me.
So I could be wrong.
Jalen Ramsey had that early on in his
Exactly,
career
yeah.
until he saw Stephon Diggs, and then it was over after that.
I feel like it's always that one receiver that I get anybody. Like ours was my boy Stevie Johnson.
Oh,
he
yeah.
had Revis Island on point.
Yeah, Revis
like
Ice
he had a
Skates.
passport on Revis Island.
I like
Right?
that.
I love
He
that.
had some property there too.
And Revis was knocked down everybody, but he couldn't get Stevie.
And
I don't know what it was.
Revis admitted it.
Yeah, it was something about Stevie, the way he ran routes.
Yeah, I can
Revis
tell you
could
why.
not get him, man.
I can tell you why.
Why?
Because he played basketball. No lie. That's why. Because he learned those moves. And I posted something on our Instagram or Facebook about that. They even mentioned Stephon Diggs how he gets his release.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crossover. Like they teach him crossing over, and that's what they do to get open off the line.
Yeah.
I was like, deep.
So I don't mean to go off topic here.
No, do
but
it.
When you said Steph Diggs, so I was reading. Did y'all ever read his Sports Illustrated article with his brother?
No.
Bro, I can make that to a movie, bro.
For real?
Yeah, it's tight.
I can make that to a
It's
movie.
tight. He had. I'll go even further. Did you see there was an Instagram post he put on? He's probably deleted it now, but it was an animated letter to my brother,
Yo,
and I cried.
them boys.
Yeah, it was- yeah.
them boys rock hard together. Because their father passed away at an early age.
Yep.
So
And I
Steph
was
was the big brother.
Right.
Yeah.
So he had to make sure everybody was cool. He went to Maryland because
He wasn't leaving home.
he didn't want to leave home. He said if it was just him, he would have went to Alabama, Ohio State, any one of them big schools. They all wanted him,
Yeah.
but he chose to stay there for his brother.
I mean, think
And
about
he been
that.
challenging his brother since that's why they go so hard because they push each other.
Yeah.
And the funny thing he said, there was like, what advice do you get your brother? He said first mistake he made when he came to the NFL, he not in Miami, so now he got to pay them taxes. So now he lost this much money. Like he's thinking on that level. Like this is my bro. I want the best for him. I wish he would have played for Tampa Bay, Miami, Jacksonville, because we ain't got to deal with them taxes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But yeah,
No,
their story is crazy,
It
bro.
really is. And
I can really make a movie out of it.
If I can find it, I'll post it on something because it really gets you. And being a dad now and thinking about being that at 13 or whatever it was, so your little brother who looks up to you.
Yeah.
It's
They're only
powerful.
5 years apart, too, man.
Huh?
They're only 5 years apart.
5 years apart. So yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, and Trayvon looked up his stuff, and he stayed home, went 5th round because he went to Maryland versus a surefire day 1 pick if he went to Alabama anywhere else.
Yeah. 2 things on the comment list. 3 things actually. My wife commented. So,
Yeah.
So T, you
Nah,
on
it's
deck.
over with.
T on
It's
deck.
over with.
T, where you at? 2
It's
out of the
over
3 that hit us up already. T, where you at? LXB writes in, I'm at a 4 nervous level. Get more nervous playing crap teams. That's a good point. The Bills have done that, right? Yep. But in this particular game, and really going back to last year too, the Dolphins have kind of shown their teeth and shown that they have an ability to present a level of danger to the Bills. And I think that's one of the reasons why you saw the blowout game here in Buffalo, because Sean McDermott took that team serious. Anytime Sean McDermott has shown respect to a team, we've played that team well. But whenever the team doesn't really respect the opponent, you see it. They play down to that level. Right. So I think, LXB, to what you're saying, I don't think I would worry about that from that perspective, because Sean and the players on the team respect the Dolphins enough to play them at that level. They have earlier this season. They've been doing that, like we said before. They're 4-1 against this team. They're going to take this team seriously. They're going into this game in Miami with a mindset that this is a strong opponent that they need to destroy as soon as humanly possible. And I think they're going to do it.
They got a history too, so they know each other.
Did he give a number?
4.
Yeah, he said 4. He's at a 4 nervous level.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 is extreme, but I don't care. I'm staying there. I'm owning it. I'm owning it.
So Chris writes in with a question: Who will be the star in the Miami game?
That's funny you say that, because who do I anticipate versus who it actually will be? I watched back the last Miami game.
Okay.
And there was one player that toyed with everybody that looked at him.
Cook?
Number 14.
Steph.
Oh, Steph.
Toyed with everybody.
Yeah, who's going to be? But they might have Ramsey follow him.
Ramsey,
Vic Fangio
yeah,
typically doesn't do that, but they
Yeah.
might do that this game.
But what'd you say about Ramsey earlier? Would you? Or was it you? One of you?
Oh,
guys?
he eats Ramsey. Yeah, I said
Right.
that. Yeah.
Say it with your chest.
He does.
If you want
Every
me to
time
bring
they
that
play
8 down to a 7?
He chopped the kneecaps off of Ramsey.
You want me to bring
plenty
that
of
8
times.
down to a 7? You're gonna have to give me that. But he's gonna have to have more than 27 yards. I mean, honestly, 5 receptions, 27 yards is garbage. Get this man some targets. He had 3 touchdowns last time they played him.
Yeah.
He was killing them boys.
He did. He ran out of celebrations.
Yeah. Mac, who you got? Who's the star in this game?
I don't want to say the obvious answer with Josh, but
So you don't like Josh then?
There you go. There you go. You sound like a national analyst now.
I'm gonna say
Jeez.
I'm gonna either say for this game, I'm gonna either say let James Cook or Diggs.
Oh man, I can't let you go before me anymore, man.
Because here's what I think. One of them boys is I believe they're gonna take over. Because and another thing, part of my nervousness is the Dolphins know that the Bills own them. So like it's kind of like that bully where you tired of the bully hitting you and you fighting back. So like I know they're gonna play hard too, but I'm not really worried about it because your best against my best, I'm still taking my best all day. You know what I'm saying? I think that we're just that better of a team. However, like I said, it is in Miami. We're playing in their house and their home. But I think either Diggs is gonna have a good game or let James Cook gonna go off. Especially now he got the Pro Bowl nod too.
Yeah.
You know that's gonna.
Now, watch if he gets
100%.
pulled. Watch if he
Puff your
fumbles and
chest
gets
out.
pulled out the game. I swear for Lord.
Yo, I
If
swear.
he fumbles and gets pulled out of the game after being a Pro Bowler, I'm gonna laugh and be mad at the same time. I'm in an angry smile.
to me, that has to be the player that ends up being the star of this game. One of the things that's been the calling card of this scrappy team has been the emergence of the run game and James Cook. And if you look at the weaknesses now on this Miami team, where is it? It's on the outside of that defensive line, right? Jalen Phillips is no longer there.
Well, yeah.
Bradley Chubb is no longer there. Van Ginkel is injured, right? He's got a wrist. So he may not be as effective coming off of blocks because he's only working with one wheel.
I mean, let me just add one more. Jerome Baker, their top blitzer. He's limited with a knee.
He's limited.
Limited with a knee.
Baker's limited. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Waddle's playing.
No,
Maybe.
Waddle's a stretch because he's got a
Really?
high ankle sprain. Those
Yeah.
are typically 3 to 4 week injuries.
Now he did participate in practice.
McDaniel
Yeah.
said they're going to go through it and see what it feels like today, but he doesn't know. He said he has no idea.
I'm telling you guys right now, it's more than likely. And again, I don't know the grade of the high ankle sprain,
Right.
but with generally with high ankle sprains, you don't just come back after 1 week.
Nah.
You just don't. Not he may come in as kind of a decoy.
Yeah.
But the Bills will figure that out
Would this
quick
be
enough.
his third week though with the high ankle?
No, this will be his second.
His second week.
Yeah,
okay.
so the all the analysts nationally are saying, and there's even been reports for people who cover the Dolphins that he's expected to really come back for the first game of the playoffs. Like that's when they really expect him to come back.
And if I'm Mike McDaniels, now I want the 2 seed because I don't want to go on the road to KC, but if I got to risk one of my top players, I'm gonna save him for the playoffs.
Right.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would save him.
I wanted to say before we go any further, I just thought about it. Just separating ourselves from the Bills right now. Tyreek Hill, my heart goes out to you for what happened to your house.
Yeah, man, I saw
your
that.
family, I'm glad they're safe. I'm glad everybody's good. I hope that you have a speedy recovery. I don't, whether you play or not, it's bigger than football at this point in time.
Right.
So
Right.
everybody watching the show, let's just keep that in mind. You don't have to like the guy because I
Right.
don't like him.
Right.
But as a human, I care about it, and just being thankful. And I just want to get the word out there.
Forgive me real quick. I was reading comments. Who were we talking about?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Okay,
The
yeah,
house
yeah.
fire.
Did they figure out what happened with that? What
I don't
the
think
cause
so.
of it was?
No,
Oh, okay.
McDaniels talked about it today. He was talking about how they're displaced and they got to figure things out with insurance and all that. And Tyreek loved practice because it happened when he was at practice.
Yeah.
He had to just run out there. The security guard came and got him off the field, and he didn't know who was in there or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Okay, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to seem insensitive, but the first thing in my mind is, he probably made his girl mad or something like that.
Could have been. It could have been. But when you don't know, when your kids are there, you don't know.
Oh, I didn't know he has children.
Oh yeah.
And it definitely started inside.
He said, "Oh yeah, he's got children." How do you know?
The fire definitely started inside the house because there's a gaping hole like in the ceiling.
Oh,
so you could tell it wasn't outside;
Right.
it happened in the inside.
Wow. Okay, well maybe somebody made a mistake, dropped something.
I mean, it happens. But just thankful everything worked out even still. I know everybody's. Oh, he's got millions of dollars in.
Oh, is that a real thing? LXB, LXB writes in his kid with a lighter set it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
even
kid
still,
playing a lighter, playing around.
That's that
makes sense.
That's scary.
Yeah. Lindsay asks, are we in the Buffalo area? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Heart of the city.
Rough, yes.
Yeah. Right now the studio is currently on the north side of Buffalo. And we are in the Below right now. She says she's originally from Williamsville.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah. So
Williamsville, stand up.
Yep. Okay. So we have 20, 30 minutes left.
Whatever
right?
you want,
Show?
man. Whatever y'all got time for.
Okay.
I'm like in flux. I don't go to the gym, now, and I got to be at work at 9:30. So I'm just gonna be riding around Buffalo anyway until it's time to go. And I still almost be late. So it's I still almost be late.
So I want to finish my James Cook point real quick. To me, I want to ask you guys this too. Like, what are going to be your keys to winning the game? Right, and I only want each of you to give me two, just
Keys
two.
to winning. Okay.
Yep. So for me, I think showing the ability to run the ball in this game is going to be huge. Namely because you're in an away game and being able to control the ball and the clock is going to be huge. On top of that, like I stated before, with Bradley Chubb being out, Jalen Phillips being out. You're going to have the edges. They're going to be weak at the edges. They were already weak at linebacker to begin with, so you should be able to do a lot of the same runs that you did against the Cowboys, right? And just kind of hit those edge runs and hit those C gaps and put pressure on the speed of that defense, right? And on the flip side, defensively, I think it's a great matchup because their offensive line has not been playing well as of late. Their center, I think, is gone for the season, right?
They're missing Terran Armstead. They're missing who else are we missing? Terran Armstead, Cotton, Eichenberg, and the center. I think the center actually he didn't show up on this list I have here.
Okay.
So he might be back, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So I mean, defensively, you have a situation now where your entire secondary is healthy, all of them, right? You can now disguise things. You can now play a press zone. You know what I'm saying? You can sit on those short routes. Even though Waddle might possibly play, they might shoot him up and he might just be able to go in there for a few key plays or something like that. Even if that's the case, you still have to focus on Tyreek Hill. And the one thing the Bills have been consistently good with, whether he was on the Chiefs or the Dolphins, is shutting Tyreek Hill down. Now, in the playoffs, it's been kind of a different story, but that was only with the Chiefs. With the Dolphins, the Bills have shut him down. He has not done anything against us in the playoffs or in the regular season, right? So I don't worry at all about their passing game. The only thing that I worry about is they have a healthy A-chain. That is his level of speed with their ability to run the ball with the motions and all the stuff that does against what has been the weakness of our defense through Sean McDermott's entirety here. I think that's the one thing that kind of gives me a little bit of pause. But I think we have to look at what happened in week 4. We have to look at the way that the Bills read the motion and basically disrespected the motion by saying, you know what? You can move around all you want. You can, do all the moves you want and stuff like that. Let's see what you do when you snap the ball because we know what's coming, right? So with the Bills having even more tape than they had in week 4, I don't see this defense really struggling at all, stopping their offense. I don't. Really quick, Lindsay writes in, they showed a video of Hill's house on fire and got a shot of Tyreek with a walking boot.
Yeah.
A walking boot?
He's got ankle. He's got ankle issues. He was hurt before.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, your whole team is decimated.
Look at their offensive line. Let me just go. I don't
No
wanna
wonder
pirate,
the
but
Bills
look
are
at
a
his-
3-point favorite. Like,
So that's really a 7 points favorite, right?
yeah.
And that changed because yesterday we was a 3. Miami had they were minus.
Oh, really?
3.
And it switched?
They were -3.
Wow.
At one point, it was a one and a half. I was like,
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah,
It was
like-
I think it started from 3, and it went 1.5,
Yeah.
and it completely flipped.
because Zebot was talking about that on his show, getting in on the 3.5 to over on that, But yeah, I can tell you right now, their offensive line, this is where they're banged up. A-Chain is actually limited with a toe. Mostert he didn't participate with the knee. So that tells you, even if A-Chain plays, he's not going to have that reliable backup. So he's going to get more of a carry.
They still got Jeff Wilson, though.
Yeah, but still, I mean, they were a 3-headed monster before. Now it's down to, the speed of A-Chain, and he's going to have to carry the load. But he's got to do it behind a line that's devoid of Liam Eichenberg, who pretty much sucks.
And Teron Armstead.
Taron Armstead, Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt. I mean,
Their whole line.
Wow. So Lester Cotton, he's the backup.
Gee, and he's limited.
So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel good about that. I feel good in that regard. I think Ed Oliver and them are gonna eat. This is not my 2. I want Matt to go first because I don't
Want
want
to go first?
They already said Xavier Howard was out, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's out. So my 2 is looking at the Week 4 game. No Tre'Davious White. Insert Rasul Douglas. Right. I'm not worried about it because I think the scheme is good, but he's never played against Tyreek Hill.
I didn't get to ask you that question. You weren't here on Monday.
That's right. Dane Jackson played in that game.
Right. And
They didn't get to ask you that.
It was Trey because
Yeah.
that's when Trey got hurt.
Oh, that's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
Rasul doesn't playing lights out so far, but this is the first game against Tyreek. So like I said, they're banged up, so I'm not really worried about that. Same thing, run game. Mostert and A-Chain, we got it. We can't let them guys get off them big runs. Can't let it happen. And my other point is, I want pressure on Tua. I want him so discombobulated that he don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I want to stop him at all costs. Like I'm not worried about their defense. I'm more worried about our defense stopping them offense. That's all I'm really worried about.
Pressure up the middle will do that all day.
I think that will be the key. If we can get pressure on Tua and shut down Mostert and A-Chain, I think we'll be good.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
What?
No, I ain't got that.
What?
On my Android, my mama.
Mama!
One of the kids is playing with matches. They say yes. She just yes. Okay. So I'm in there.
Mama Hammond, let's go.
Right, Mama Hammond got to connect.
So my next thing, text Ken and tell him to call in and
and text T too and tell her that she need to get on
Man,
this
watch
comment
out.
list.
She's a lost cause. Watch out. Watch out.
You said you wanted to ask Max something?
Yeah, I didn't get to ask when we were talking about Trey White or Rasul Douglas.
What you mean?
Oh,
Just not for this game, but just which one would you rather have?
from here on out.
When Trey comes back, is he going to be 100%? Because like he got a knee and an Achilles so.
On the same leg.
I know.
No, he's not going to be
So,
the same.
Okay,
Right now,
take that out.
Take that out.
If they were even, if they both had the same,
The same injuries?
not if they're both healthy.
If they're both
healthy-ish.
Okay.
Because that's a handicap. Yeah, if you have a knee and an ankle, you're done. But
Well, no, I'm not saying it from the standpoint of like Trey's injured now. What I mean is even Christina says stop.
no, you text her then. The onus is on you. I expect something in this chat. She don't even know where I am right now.
The camera's on you, so I mean, like,
Oh my gosh. No, I think I'm not. I don't want it to be thought of as Trey White's hurt and Rasul Douglas is healthy. Even when Trey White comes back,
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
there's still going to be a weakness there because he's got a bum leg. Like,
Well,
he's never going to be the same after an Achilles.
I think that we know that. That's why I say you can't say is he healthy because he's not going to be.
yeah.
So I think I'm just going like just player for player.
Okay.
So I would have to go with Rasul. But I think Rasul is a ball hawk as far as like he'll catch more passes than Trey. But I think Trey, where he shined to me, was one-on-one. I think he was good at one-on-one. Like too many people didn't get off on Trey one-on-one. You know what I'm
Except
saying?
for big receiver like that. To me,
Like
that
the bigger, the taller,
yeah,
the big
like
boys.
T. Higgins got off on him too many
Jefferson.
times, and they had him checking Gronkowski. Gronkowski
Yeah,
got off.
yeah.
Kelsey even got off on him.
Yeah.
he struggled with bigger guys, and the other thing too, like Rasul Douglas is 6'1".
6'1".
Yeah, he's 6'1", so he's bigger than Trey White. Trey White's 5'11", like barely 5'11", right? And did we look at the 40 time for Douglas versus Trey White?
White's faster.
Okay, well, so White is faster. So this, and I want to see what you think about this. This was my thing when Trey White comes back, because obviously the contract along with the injuries is going to be a little tough to get rid of. And Lindsay asked the question. LXB says Rasul, yeah, for sure. Would you take? Because we talked about getting Kyer Elam on the field next year in the 24-25 season. Huh?
Somehow, somewhere.
Yeah, right. So the way that we figured out how to do that is Rasul Douglas will still be under contract, right? Kyer Elam can come in and start. You take Benford, you put him at safety, and he can play that Micah Hyde position.
And then keep Rapp.
Huh?
Are we
No, I'm
Rapp?
saying you put Trey White at safety and go the Aaron Williams route, right? Because Aaron Williams was a converted safety, even though he was a bigger hitter. But if you look at Devin McCourty was a converted corner, right?
Yeah.
And we have a lot of examples of that in the league. Jarris Byrd was a converted corner here.
That way is easier than the opposite, the safety to corner.
Right. So I'm looking at it from the standpoint of you got a guy who was already great at playing zone as a corner and made a lot of big plays playing deep zone as a corner. So I think he's got the chops to do it, right? It's just whether or not he wants to commit to doing that. And I think the Bills should try to convince him to do that because, A, you get Kyer Elam on the field, and now you have two aggressive corners of Elam and Douglas. You get Benford at his more natural position of safety because that's what he played in college. And then you get a ball-hawking safety in Trey White.
I would, now if you think about it, I would put that option on him to see if he want to do it. But I mean, if he don't want to do it, he want to do it. But the only issue I got with that is Trey really not a tackler like that.
Right.
But that's the thing. Like I don't want it to. So the NFL as a whole, that they don't want great tacklers anymore.
True.
Only defensive minded head coaches
True.
want great tacklers.
So I want great tacklers.
Yeah, right. That's why I said it the way I said it.
I want them hits. I want the Troy Polamalu's, the Ed Reeds.
To be fair, we were talking. I don't know if you got that part because you were commenting on Monday, but I said to put Kyer at safety because I feel like Kyer is more the physical guy.
He is.
But he's small, like he's slender. He would have to put some weight on.
You always want. Did you put weight on Bob Sanders' little scrawny butt?
Yeah.
Bob Sanders?
Bob Sanders was 5'8", 202.
He was natural though.
No. He had to put that on. He wasn't born that way.
I wasn't born this height, but that doesn't matter. No, but seriously, I don't know. I think Kyer, we talked about his physicality, and I think they see him as a liability at corner. Well, I don't, but they do. Mm-hmm. And the easiest way to see him on the field, I think, knowing that he has a nose, he gets in there. And that's one thing we saw when we were playing against the run when he was a starter. He got in there and tried to make stops.
Yeah.
So I think the easiest path for me, looking at him going on the field, is to put him in that box safety-ish role that you're talking about.
So you're saying Christian Benford and Elam at safety. And then Trey White comes back and plays corner.
We could do that.
You would trust Trey to come back and play corner?
But if Trey's got to be on the field, I think I would sacrifice the corner. I don't want to say sacrifice, but I think I would love to have Kyer, his safety, his speed, his tenacity for the ball as a safety.
So to be fair though, to Key's point, remember we had this discussion about having a number 2 cornerback. We had Levi Wallace and Dane Jackson. Don't really matter if you got a number 1 and you got a good safeties with Poyer and Hyde.
No, you said it right.
Because remember,
Spider and Hoyer, whatever you said, because they're the same person.
remember when we had Trey White and we had them safeties?
Yeah.
Who cares who's on the other side? And it worked out for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
I guess. But here's the thing with that too. Here's the thing with that too, because there was still improvement to be made even in that secondary, right? That those 3 guys were not getting enough interceptions to just be like, all right, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, in my mind, like they still needed, for what we were paying all three of those guys, they needed to be more productive, right? And they really only had 1 year where Hyde had 5 interceptions, Poyer had 5, I think they both had 5 in one season, and Trey White might have had 4 or maybe 6 or something like that in one season. They had like a big turnover year, but since that year, they really didn't do much. They were injury prone after that, and all that.
Levi had 2.
Huh?
Levi had 2.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for that. Yeah. Levi had 2.
After that article,
you see it? Do you have it on yours? Yo,
he has entered the chat.
T has entered the chat
I took
with
push.
4 snoozing faces.
See, be on. Carry on.
All right, maybe it was a mistake to have T come on.
Carry on.
But yeah, so to me, I think that's why I would like to put Trey at safety, because I think for his level of effectiveness with the injuries coming back, he's going to be a step slower. His agility is not going to be the same. But as a safety playing against tight ends and running backs, he would still be agile enough to play man coverage on those guys. Yeah. And imagine having that level of talent and that level of experience to be able to play man coverage with everybody in your secondary. Everybody would be able to play man at that point. Rasul Douglas can play man. Kyer Elam can definitely play press man. Benford and White can play man. Like, imagine being able to do that on defense with a great pass rush.
You might have convinced me, bro.
And then on top of that, it gets better, because you got Milano who can play man, and you got Bernard who can play man. How you come on?
Yeah,
how is that not dominant?
I think you got me on that.
Yo, this man is like, he about to bust a blood.
I get excited talking about that, bro. Like,
not only could they play man, they could do both.
Exactly.
At will.
Exactly. Whenever they
want.
You want
zone? I got that. You want zone?
Except for maybe Elam.
I knew to say that. Yeah, I knew to say that.
But again, to your point, if 3 of the guys are great at playing zone, it don't matter what the other guys doing.
He can do it. He might not be as good. I think the Elam point to the zone is a Trey White to the man. I Trey White on Travis. I don't want to say Travis because he's not gonna be there much longer. So who's a side end that we can really talk?
Hawkinson,
Laporta. Trey White on Hawkinson, Trey White on Darnell Washington, 6'6", 270.
David Njoku.
But see, that's the thing.
But you can, I mean, if you know, like, I get what you're saying, and I thought about that while I was saying Trey White, can play man, but you still got Christian Benford at 6 feet, whatever. And he can do it.
The way I see alleviating that, and I know this is the tangent show. I don't even care. But no, the way that we alleviate that is having White feed the tight end to the linebacker. Run him into there.
Oh, I see.
So you don't let him behind you, but you kind of force him into where there's coverage, because the linebacker's going to be in underneath coverage.
Right.
So that would alleviate some of that. So I could see it. I mean, I would do it. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
No, did you finish with your 2 or no?
Yeah. That's my 2. The run game, and we got to get pressure on Tua.
No doubt.
Well, to the point about Tua, we only blitzed him 9 times last game, and I mean, he just fell apart. He just fell apart. I think, and this is,
and their line is in worse condition now.
Right.
Yeah, and this is and the thing that's more important than even pressuring Tua is pressing the wide receivers. Because Tua gets knocked off by timing. Yes. He gets knocked off by the spot.
Yep.
So you can let him have all, because he throws the ball as fast as anybody. He's the quickest thrower in the league.
Yep.
So getting to him is not as important as knocking this guy, because he knows where he wants to throw the ball before he even snaps the ball. He determines it when he's scanning the field. So if I can get those corners, those wide receivers and the tight end off kilter, even by half a second, a third of a second, we won. Yeah. But no, those are, I mean, I'm not taking away from it at all, but my 2 would be, 1, the defense showing up like they did last week. Mm-hmm. I think a big caveat of this is we don't know who's playing for Miami. We don't know, because Tua's hurt, everybody's hurt. Right. So we don't know, are they going to pack it in? Where do they stand? And if they do play, how good are they going to be?
Right.
But my second one is identifying a top receiver. Don't to be Steph Diggs, but I'm tired of seeing 4 for 27, 5 for 50, 3 for 8 for 24 yards. I want one guy. If it's Kincaid, if it's Gabe Davis, I don't even care. Let one of those guys identify themselves as the target,
Yeah.
Because if you can do that, if you have to force Miami to pay attention to one guy, especially if it's not Diggs, taking a double team away from Diggs to cover somebody else, you're gonna die.
Do you think that that's an advantage that Brady is trying to do? Like not have a main target so you don't know who to check?
That's what I've been thinking this whole
time.
Yeah.
You could, but I think if I showed the propensity to throw to somebody more than somebody else, it would allow for us to open somebody up, like a secondary. It's a game of chess. You love chess. I want you to, let's see. We'll say Gabe Davis lines up on the right, and Kincaid lines up on tight end left.
Yep.
I want Kincaid to go off.
Yeah.
I'm going to showcase Davis.
Right.
Even if I overthrow him, I want them to be looking at him so I get Kincaid all day.
I see what you're saying.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to be, like when we saw Steph Diggs in the first game where he was the lion's share, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a million targets. That might not be him. It might not be anybody, but I want at least the other team, the opposition, which is Miami in this case, to look at somebody and say, we gotta figure this guy out. That's how I'm looking at it.
Okay. Gotcha. I mean, I like your point. I disagree though.
I know you do.
Here's why. I think if you're looking at what the Bills are capable of doing in this game with the injuries, with all of that, I just I don't know if I want to say it that way.
But watch out now. I'm not trying to get canceled.
No.
Don't call me Cat Williams. Don't call me Cat Williams. I ain't got it like that yet.
Okay, so, man, I just lost my train of thought now. What was the last thing you just
Moving on. No.
What was the last point you just made?
About the receivers?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got it now. So to both of those points. So when you asked the question, I think we did talk a little bit about that, and we might have even talked about it with you here. That was my theory with Diggs coming off the field and stuff like that. My theory was that whenever Diggs was coming off the field, those were new plays designed to work on new route concepts, right? Because what we've seen on the All-22 and all that and film study throughout the season has been the route concepts don't work, right? They either don't work well with what Josh typically reads on the field, or they just don't work from a standpoint of creating openings that Josh wants to attack. You get what I'm saying? There were a few times early on in the season where you see two receivers 3-4 yards, away from each other, right? So all that stuff is very evident. But I think to what Keyshawn is saying, I would say you do want that, but you don't. Like I get what you're saying in terms of you want somebody to step up and be the guy and force the defense's hand, but I think if you do that, you're essentially telling the defense what to shut down. And I think going into this game now with Stephon Diggs not having played well, and Gabe Davis having up and down weeks, and even Kincaid not having the games that he had when Dawson Knox was hurt, and Dawson Knox not really having done much since he's been back, you're in a situation now where defensively, who do we focus on? Right. You're probably going to say Steph Diggs just off of his resume. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, who?
Right.
You can say Gabe Davis because he has big games if you sleep on him, but what if he doesn't?
Right.
You could say, well, maybe it's Kincaid. You don't know. It could be Dawson Knox. It could be another James Cook game.
It could be Shakir.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like you said, it could be anybody.
Right, but I guess the perspective I'm coming from is you kind of, in a sense, you don't want it to be any one person. You do want it to be it doesn't have to be 4 for 26. If everybody has, I don't know, if everybody has 4 receptions and everybody has 50 yards, That's only that
200
amongst
yards.
4 receivers, that's 200 yards. If you get Cook in there with 50 yards, that's 250 yards.
So
that's,
five
that's
receptions,
not,
five receivers.
Yeah, 5 receivers, each having 50 yards and 4 catches. To me, like, what do you do at that point? Because everybody's destroying you. Like, at that point, like, there's nothing you can do. Everything's working for the offense.
Right.
You know what I'm
50
saying?
yards. To me, 50 yards isn't huge. I mean, I know your point. I get your point. But what I was looking at, I'm looking at all of Josh's best games, and all of Josh's best games this year had one receiver go for over 100 yards. Mm-hmm. So, and it wasn't always Steph Diggs.
No,
Gabe Davis once, Khalil Shakir went 92 yards. So, and then Steph Diggs, obviously. So, I mean, I'm just looking at it in the sense that they can do it, but I want an identity. I don't, you know what, McDermott alluded to the fact when somebody asked him about the difference between Joe Brady and Dorsey. He said, we finally found an identity. That's what he said about the game we just played.
What's the identity?
Well, I mean,
Never mind.
He's not,
Go ahead.
he didn't say that.
No, I guess I'm kind of asking if y'all see something that I don't.
Well, no.
Is it running the ball? What's the identity?
No, there's. I don't know. I don't know what their philosophy is. Because obviously, you know, before it was 17 plus 14 equals craziness. Yeah. But after Brady came, it kind of got spread around. But it was still a big time receiver somewhere in a win.
Right.
And the best part about that is what I hated about the first half of the first OC was, even though I love Steph Diggs, it was always Steph Diggs. Right. And I knew that movie was going to get old at some point. Right. Right. I was like, yo, they're going to pass the ball to Will kind of game. Tremelo appreciate that. Pass the ball to Will. But I appreciated when Gabe Davis came out with the 105, but it left me wanting more. So we talked about, I said, like in your case, spread it out. Give me 50 in every game as opposed to one game where it's just we already won. Right. But I think it would go and be best served for Josh to establish a rapport. If it's not going to be Diggs, if you're going to do those bubble screens and stuff like that, establish a rapport with somebody else. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I was going with it. It doesn't have to be like a monumental game, but just somebody and not Sherfield. Get him off the field. Trent, get him off the field.
Really?
Yeah, I'm tired of him.
Do you think they've really given him a chance to settle into this offense?
No.
I think that has something to do with it.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't think. At this point in time, it's over. That's 1 year contract, week 18, it's over.
That's true. You're right. And it's sad, but it does happen.
I didn't see this coming.
It's just the way it is.
I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. Josh Allen having more than 70 yards rushing.
No.
More than 70?
Is that the end? What is that? Was that a question?
Yes.
From you or somebody?
No.
Okay.
That's from me.
Okay, if it's you, I'll trash it. No, I'm joking.
I don't know. That's
more than 70?
I definitely think he's going to have more than 50, but more than 70?
Really?
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Where's he? He hasn't run. And I don't think. Well, that goes into what happens before the game too, because I don't think they're gonna want him to be in harm's way like that. He doesn't run as much as he did at all.
Well, here's why I asked that question. Mm-hmm. Here's why I asked that question. Now I want to see if this changes your answer. Actually, before I get to that, really quick, Bob O'Brien writes in, after Dallas, Josh's jersey was sent straight to Canton for enshrinement.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's there.
Oh yeah,
my man made history.
Yeah.
Right? Then he says, has Tua even been to the Hall of Fame to look at the greats?
Nah.
Definitely not.
If he has, he won't remember it. I mean, I'm sorry.
Brock Purdy East probably won't make it to the Hall of Fame. Let's just be honest.
I mean, I can probably hook him up something.
Huh?
I can probably hook him up a plane ticket or something.
Okay, that would be cool. I'm sure he would appreciate that. So here, I want to see if this changes you guys' answer. If you look at the linebackers that the Dolphins have, they are not great. Even Baker, who's their best linebacker, and Van Ginkel, who's their second best linebacker, they're not great, right? They're not great, especially at coverage. They're decent against the run. Van Ginkel's a great pass rusher. Baker's a pretty good run defender, but they are not good in coverage, right? And so what happens if, with the injuries and all that kind of stuff, Josh sees openings and he's got an opportunity to get off on these linebackers? Like, to me, that's there's an opening for that when you're playing against linebackers who are A, not that fast, and B, not that great to begin with.
I think for me, the question I would rather answer. I mean, I'll answer your question because I like the thought for betting purposes. I'm not going to bet it because I've lost bad. But I think with the fact Josh only ran for more than 48 yards one time this season, I think the more appropriate question is how many times will he rush or scramble? I don't think
70 yards. Let's say it's 6 rushes, 70 yards.
No, the 6 rushes won't get him 70 yards.
I'll say he'll get. I'll take the under 75. I think he'll get maybe like in the 50, 45 range.
40, yeah,
okay.
50.
I'd say 35 to 45, especially the flow of the game. And guys are getting open. I think especially if he feels like they got the game in hand, he's moving on to the playoffs. So he wants to preserve. Yeah. Sean McDermott's going to be in his ear. Hey man,
be smart.
Think smart.
Be smart.
Brady up there is gonna do some of the same. Stephon Diggs is gonna say, and then you got the Pro Bowler James Cook over there who's gonna. I had to throw that in there. The Pro Bowler James Cook. He's gonna say, "Yo, let me just take over, man. I rest your body. Let me take." And that's how they roll. And McDermott alluded to that in his press conference. He said, this is it's a family atmosphere. It's not for everybody. He said, but the guys love each other. And the guys aren't afraid to say, I love you. So they're thinking, too, we can take over these linebackers. But let me do it. If Fournette plays, if I think Lindsey asked about Fournette last week?
Playoff Lenny.
Playoff Lenny.
Playoff Lenny, which we summoned you.
Playoff Lenny and playoff Gabe.
Let me think.
I'm not gonna lie, that got me last week too. I'm like, oh,
so that's gotta be Mac.
We pulled out the jersey and everything. We only pull the jersey out to hate on Gabe Davis on this show. I'm so mad that he's turned out to be the player that he has. Again, part of it is he's in a system that doesn't fit what he does well, so I can't really blame him 100%. But real quick, Bob O'Brien writes in: Ravens used Bill's playbook from October 1st game and spanked them.
They did.
Yeah.
With speed, though, but they did.
With speed, yeah.
I mean, they look,
But, yo, did y'all watch that game? I saw the game.
I watched it. You talking about the Ravens game?
Yeah.
I did.
Y'all watched it.
Key. Every time Lamar threw the ball, them boys was wide open.
You know what he did, too?
They was open like crazy.
You know what he did? He did left-handed dropbacks.
Dude.
He didn't do that all the time.
No, I'm saying he on two of his long bombs, he did left-handed dropbacks.
Yeah, I saw the one.
I was like,
how many times did he do that?
I'm serious. I'm watching the game. I'm like, dude, where is the Dolphins defenders at? There was nowhere in the screen. Like, is they faking them out that bad?
You take that speed and you take the second of hesitation by their cornerback, you're done. Yeah. Toast. Flowers is going in.
Was all of this after Howard got hurt, or it was before?
Wow.
Likely, Flowers, Beckham, if you watch the game, every highlight,
it didn't matter.
Miami's not in. They're not in the picture. Like you just see,
boom. It was so easy.
That's why I'm like, that's too easy.
That's why that takes out like, Lamar just toying with cats now. I felt
like Miami just said they just quit. They just quit, man.
I think A forgot.
I would love to the Bills to do that because that would have like a no stress game where I'm like, oh man, this is easy.
Perfect game. I would love a perfect game.
Easy.
I think A forgot something. I know we're wrapping up, but I think
I got 1 point.
No, we got more points, but I need this.
I got time.
No, you forgot because I saw you put the thing up on the screen. But we got another segment that Mel brought into our.
That's right.
See?
Oh my gosh, how did we forget that?
See?
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. I didn't. I was so invested in my soliloquy at the beginning of the episode.
You guys don't mind, do you? You guys don't mind, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
If he says yes, I don't care. Anybody else? I'll take your answers.
She watching now, so you got to be
she
careful.
Ain't watching. Christina texts her, said, "Get on right quick," and then slam him. And she's like, "I got just a thing for him." I know what this is.
All right, so we're gonna get into who you taking, and this is a segment where we take a look at the. Well, do you want to explain it, Mac? This is
your brainchild.
So, who you taking is basically when the rival team comes to play Buffalo. If you were the GM and had GM powers, who would you swap? Like, who would you trade for on that team? It don't have to be an even position per position, but somebody off the opposing team's roster will become on your roster.
We doing one player, two players?
We do one.
We do one? Okay. You going first?
No, I'm going last.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, I got to see if I can steal your thunder this time. Let's see. What you got?
No, you go.
Oh, come on.
I brought it up. I don't have anybody yet. Just give me a moment. Stop leaning on me.
Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see. I have to think of a player on the Dolphins that I would want to have here. And there's a lot of options too. There's so many options. Man, it's tough. It's tough. You know what?
Junie has yawned.
I know. The millennial has made his statement. Okay.
The what?
Okay. Huh?
The what?
The millennial has made a
millennial?
statement.
Millennial?
What you trying to say?
Millennial here.
I'm speaking to the generation that you are unwillingly a part of.
We're a part of it too. So
That's my oldest son, y'all. That's our producer, Junie. For T says rude.
okay, you're still here. All
yeah,
right.
she's still watching.
No, Christina told her to get back on again.
All right. I'm gonna get to the point. I'm gonna stop putting it off because y'all put me on the spot.
Personal problem.
did that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go Jalen Ramsey. And the reason why is for as much as I love what the Bills have had in their secondary for the last few years, the one thing that we seem to have lacked at the corner position specifically is the attitude and mindset that Jalen Ramsey brings on top of the size and physical talent that Jalen Ramsey has. He can play zone, he can play man, he can be a lockdown corner, he can follow guys around. He is the all-around guy on top of bringing that mindset to the corner position. We've had it at safety with Jordan Poyer. He's been the tough guy back there laying the wood whenever needed and all that kind of stuff. Cool. But when it comes to my corners, I want my corners having that same mindset too.
Okay. I accept that now. I'm over trying to stall. Okay, so this is mine. Judy, don't worry about it. I will limit this answer.
Oh, don't worry about it.
No, don't do it.
No, I'm gonna do it.
I know. I am going to go. Wait, who'd you give up for?
Who did I give up?
Yeah. Mel, now it gets crazy.
Yeah, it does get crazy now. Dane Jackson, he can go.
Key, I'm telling you this right now.
Dane Jackson can go immediately.
Choose
over
wisely.
there.
I don't need him on the team.
Choose wisely.
Keep talking over there. I'm gonna draw this all the way out.
Key, I'm telling you right now. For me and T-Mac safe.
We down 2 viewers already. Hurry up.
No, I got. I'm gonna go Waddle.
Waddle.
I was about to say
the young guy.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Waddle.
I struggle with that because I don't know if Waddle runs all the routes like Hill does.
I don't need him to because Gabe Davis hasn't ever. And we actually have
Just
some
go
speed.
be Gabe Davis at the
Right,
number 2
and he has
spot.
speed to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get that. And who am I
Okay.
giving up? They can have Trent Sherfield back. They can have Gabe Davis. I don't really care. They can have a twofer. They can take Hardy.
Y'all can have Hardy. Y'all can have Metakevich. Y'all can have
You can take
anybody you want.
Just don't take my digs from me. Yeah, you said it. Where's Drewski? Drewski ain't here today.
He didn't.
No. He
You didn't
Okay.
text him? Oh man.
Okay, I'm safe then because
Tell
Drewski will
him
get
he
me
need to
riled
show
up.
up for the show on Monday.
I
We need more Diggs trade content.
I feel like I know him already. I feel like he's just that little brother that just gets on your nerves.
Lizzie chimes in. Benford can hit. The problem is he gets hurt. That's
Yeah.
true. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
Sad. This might help too because in the NFL, and this is Benford's second year, right?
Yep.
Especially if he moves to safety, just put a little bit of weight on. Hey, we've seen what that's done for Tua.
He's in the right city.
Huh?
He's in the right city.
Yeah, right,
got food.
100%. We got some
Stick
good
to your
food. over here.
ribs. Never mind, you're too young. Huh? Nah, I'm just
Anyways,
joking.
Sorry
I'm
for
hurt.
being 39 years old. You know, dang.
Wow.
Wow.
You just gonna take that live on air?
Just because he's bigger than me don't mean nothing.
Right. We still got to turn the cameras off.
Right.
Like you
You
know
need
that,
a ride
right?
home.
You still got to make it out of here alive.
He need a ride home.
Yeah, he do need a ride home. All right. So back to business. Mac,
Yes.
who are you taking?
You had long enough now.
Listen,
He had this thing ready the whole
I
time.
know.
But he wanted to go last. You should have went first.
I'm taking the Rook,
The A-Chain?
Devin A-Chain.
Wow.
Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go.
You called him what?
The Rook.
The Rook. Oh,
I'm taking him.
okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Even with Cook?
Yes.
Why?
That's the thing.
Yes.
I mean, I respect because I thought about running back,
Yeah.
but I'm like, let me get Moster's older.
Like,
I'm
I didn't
what
want to
about this?
disrespect Cook like that.
Yeah,
Like,
So-
and not saying that you disrespect
Right.
Cook, but
But so just
I can't-
imagine their backfield with Raheem and A-Chain healthy. They both getting 1,000 yards. You want that in Buffalo? You got Cook and A-Chain. Let's go. You not
Yo, he can even say go.
Hand us the Lombardi right now.
He can even say
Well,
go. He'll
Lombardi.
Okay. Hold on.
Where your cornflakes at? He about to piss on him.
That is not my job here. Okay, it's really not. I oftentimes differ from things I hear.
These two find them in here.
No, so here's my thing. A-Chain is how big?
Little. He's like 5'8",
A-Chain is
170 something.
5'9", 188 pounds.
Okay.
Lindsay says playoff Lenny instead of Murray. I'm starting to agree with that.
Yeah.
Murray
definitely,
seems to have fallen
definitely.
off.
Yeah, I'm there. And I will say even Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson.
Yeah. Ty Johnson. I'll say this. If we were in Miami with Buffalo's roster, I think I would be okay with A-Chain. Just for me, with the cold weather and what that does to the body, and late in the season, we've already seen A-Chain's rookie season. Like he can't make it through a whole season. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, this is not me trying to like tear down your pick.
Yeah.
I like the pick because I like the essentially you're making Cook the Thunder and A-Chain is the Lightning, right? And even with that, they can both do the same things, right? So you can go shotgun and have both of those guys out there at the same time on third downs, and linebackers ain't gonna know what to do at
Not
all.
gonna like this, but you could put Cook in the slot.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Cook. He can play slot. He can play wide receiver and running back.
And both of
really.
them got the game-breaking speed.
Oh,
True.
no doubt. He's
They get
one of the
past
fastest guys in the league.
it's game over.
True,
Game over. Good luck catching them.
but
I'm not doing thank God.
do. Let me ask you like this. Do you think that your head coach is willing to invest in an offensive line that will provide for those two guys what it needs to provide in the running game? Because you got to keep in mind, James Cook has had a 5 yards per carry average or above his whole entire career here. But that's with last year being a bottom 10 offensive line and this year being a top 5. But before all of this, the Bills' offensive line was consistently in the bottom half, if not the bottom 5 of the league. So
I think this move will help that issue.
So you think getting the running back here is like, okay, now we got to focus on this.
Well, no. Not that you got to focus on the line. It makes the line look better.
Because Cook has already made the line look better.
And you got A-Chain now. So, like, basically, I'm kind of hiding where we're weak at with our speedy running backs that y'all can't stop.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
We need Torrance to wake up.
Because, like, for certain, like, for example, I'll even say Christian McCaffrey. If you look at him, look at the way he goes to the holes, right? If they don't create them holes, now he got to figure stuff out. He gotta recover. He gotta make up stuff while he's running. Where now he got them Trent Williams, he got them boys. He was like, oh yeah, pave the way, and I'll just follow.
Yeah.
Our guys can't do that. But with A-Chain and Cook, they don't need to. See what I'm
Actually, I
saying?
do like that. I'm thinking about Deion Dawkins and what they have him doing a lot this year is that pull.
Yeah.
That wide pull.
You get him in
creating
space.
a lot of space.
You get him in space, it's a wrap. They're not catching him.
I mean, essentially what they're doing is putting Torrance and Dawkins on the same side of the field. I mean, that running to the right side with in that little sliver of a hole with A-Chain going through it.
Sounds like it'd be a good idea to put Dawkins at guard.
I mean, I would have had Dawkins and Cordy Green at guard, but
I've only been saying that for how long?
yeah.
Bob O'Brien writes in, Lenny's a beast and he's fresh. Let me ask y'all this. Would you take bringing Lenny in now and cutting Murray, and do you think that would be a slight to Murray if you cut Murray and put him on the practice squad?
I would have to get him to buy in on the decision of why we're doing it. We're not doing it because of you're lacking or you can't do this, but just that we got to go with the fresh guy. Like, he's younger too, right?
Yeah.
He's younger. He's fresher, right? And his playoff leaning for a reason. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? So I may even swap him game to game with Ty Johnson just to let him know, like, hey, we're not pushing you to the side. We still thank you for the contributions. We still a part of this team. I'm not going to completely just, all right, you're done. You know what I'm saying? I might do it that way to where, all right, you're active this game. He got the next game.
You really don't even have to.
Yeah,
cut
but you only
anybody.
get 3 call.
No,
call-ups,
playoffs
right?
is unlimited.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, playoffs is unlimited. So you really don't have to cut cut one of them for the other one. If you find some fat down the line or whatever, or you could finesse. I mean, they're not going to, but Von Miller, for instance, because clearly, like we talked about before the season, he's just not ready.
Yeah. Right.
You know, I was arguing with, and I'm not going to get. We're going to close. I'm not going to get in too much, but I was arguing with somebody on Twitter about Von Miller. You know, get rid of him. Like, on what basis? Because he's trash. I'm like, well, what did the other 12 years tell you?
Right.
Like, he's not ready.
Pro Bowl.
Right. He's not ready. He'll be fine next year. He'll be fine. You know, so I mean, I know you wanted to get rid of him and all that, but I'm not disputing that. But it's just like, if he's here, next year he'll be fine.
Right. Yeah, and that's right. And it could be a situation where he just needed time because he didn't come back until week 5.
Right.
So
yeah. You could drop him off and say, you know, this is why we're doing this. We're gonna house you here on IR because you're clearly not good. You know, so they'll find a small injury somewhere.
Yeah.
Say we're gonna shut you down this year, let you get the help you need on your body and all that stuff, let you handle your personal stuff.
Or
here we go.
Serendipity is Von Miller coming alive in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And being one of the reasons we win that game.
Maybe.
We go hoist him up.
That to me would be the icing,
Yeah,
the cherry on top.
hoist it up.
Speaking of Super Bowl, one last thing before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Who would you rather face in the bowl from the NFC?
Dallas.
I don't want Dallas.
No,
I
I
was
want
just saying
the
Dallas.
Eagles again.
You want the Eagles?
I want the Eagles
I
again.
don't want the Eagles either.
Who do you want? Because you don't like any of our
I want
answers.
the Lions.
The Lions?
Yes, give me Detroit.
Nah.
Here's why.
They can run that ball too good.
Here's why. Who have we been in the Super Bowl with? The Cowboys.
The whole NFC East?
The NFC East.
I want them
I
again.
don't want Philly.
I want to beat one of them.
I don't want Philly, and I
Plus
don't
all
want
of them.
Dallas.
I'm just saying their team is distraught right now. So if they made it to the Super Bowl and we already played well against them at their home, like we can beat that team. Like I'm just saying from a vulnerability standpoint.
Okay,
I don't want
gotcha.
to see the Cowboys defense because the amount of coverage that team would get, I couldn't stomach it for 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl.
Imagine the Buffalo
I
Bills. Well, this is the thing. The coverage thing.
Bob O'Brien agrees with you. He said Detroit too.
I wanted. That was a strange answer, but unorthodox. I'll say.
Listen,
I was thinking about. I never
Listen.
expected that.
people sleeping on the Lions.
No,
bro.
it's not that. I just
No,
sleeping
they're a
on them.
great team.
it's not that.
I wouldn't want, like, you got to think about it like this. Why would I want to face a team that does well what my defense is weakest against?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can. Their offensive line is better this year than the Bills' offensive line, and we got the number 5, right? So they don't just have the rookie running back. They still got Jamal Williams up there too, or not Jamal Williams, Montgomery.
David Montgomery.
Yeah, David Montgomery, right? So you know, those guys combined with the tight end, like, to me, that's just a lot to ask of our defense to go and beat that team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be very nervous.
I guess I'm being greedy because if I'm the Super Bowl, I want to take out the best team. And
Yeah,
I think either the Cowboys or the Lions are going to go.
So you wouldn't want to see the
Eagles are gonna
Niners?
make it. I don't think the Niners are going to make it, man.
Really?
No.
Really? They got home field advantage. Who's beating them at home?
It's Brock Purdy in the playoffs.
Why you?
Hey,
passion. Really?
hey, it's Brock Purdy in the playoffs, man.
What?
The way he looked on his face.
The only reason he lost in the playoffs is because he got hurt. He's won every playoff game he's played in.
Dwayne Mills,
But he
Dwayne
played
Mills
chumps
said
in the
that.
playoffs.
Say less.
Everybody in the NFC is chumps. Like, what do you want them to do? They all chumps.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
Nah, I want Dallas.
I don't think that they're gonna make it though. I don't know. I don't believe that they can. Like we said, it's a different animal in the playoffs. And I don't think they can do it in the playoffs.
Just write that wrong. Dallas.
Okay, last question, because Bob O'Brien
He signed off.
no, he made his prediction. He's saying no.
He's like, all right, fellas.
He said Bills beat Finns 37-18. Keep our banner and get 2 home games. Let's go Bills. I'm with that. I'll take 37-18 all day long. But we gotta reach our own conclusions. Yeah. What y'all got?
All right, I'll go. I'm gonna say we're gonna have a good performance by a wide receiver. I'll go 40.
Ooh, wow! A defensive guy saying 40?
40 to 21, I'll say.
40-21. Not too far from what we did to him already.
I'm going 35, no field goals.
What?
Touchdowns
Wait a minute.
only. Touchdowns only.
Hey. He took the kickers out of the game.
That's right.
That's fine with me.
Give me 5 touchdowns. I'm going 35-13.
But what the punter do? What the punter
Sam
do?
Martin.
What?
4 punts.
Why would you do this?
4 punts.
Okay.
Inside the 20.
Boom.
Complimentary football, baby. All phases of the game.
Complimentary football on
All
the kid.
phases of the game.
Hey, put the camera on your dad. He about to have a meltdown.
I am about to have an aneurysm right now because we're talking about punting.
Sam Martin, shout out. Let's go.
That's it.
Yeah, okay, all right. This is turned
Let's
into
ride.
a troll airness episode now. My prediction is going to be. I'm going to say we're going. I think this is going to be a low scoring game. I think we're going to see the Bills really control everything and just shut the Dolphins down, but also do what's necessary to win. I think this is going to be I'll say 30-10.
Okay.
I'll say 30-10.
I mean, that's legit. You said low scoring. I'm thinking like 14-6 or something like that.
No. I'll say 30-10. I think the Bills know that the Dolphins can easily score 21, right? But on a good day, that doesn't beat an A game from the Bills defense, right? And the last time we played, they only scored 21 points, right? So I think with all the tape the Bills have, all the injuries that the Dolphins have, and the way the Bills are playing right now, that defense is on fire. They'll get the job done. Lindsay chimes in. She says 38-20.
Ooh.
38-20.
Okay.
Hey, listen. The more disparity of the score, the better. I'll take it. Take it.
Early and often. Start fast. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny. Bob O'Brien comments. He said, once Tua goes to the blue tent, it's over. I've had this feeling all week. Like, Tua's been healthy all season long. I think he's going to get hurt in this game.
He almost got hurt in the Ravens game.
Right. I think he's going to get hurt in this game, and it's going to be over after that point.
They're gonna be the bad guys.
But that was on McDaniels though. Why would you keep Chubb and Tua in at that point in time? Chubb got hurt at the end of the game.
Yeah,
it was over, and you kept him.
Right.
That's what happens.
All right, real quick. This is gonna be the last one, guys.
Sure.
Lindsay chimes in. Since we don't have Milano, who's putting the lick on Tua? My opinion, I think it's gonna be Oliver. I think Oliver's gonna get that pass rush up the middle with DQ back, and I think it's gonna be nasty.
I got
Rousseau?
Groot.
No, wow, Groot. That's
you
right.
gonna love mine,
baby
man.
Groot.
You gonna love mine.
Ooh.
25.
Ooh.
25. Dodson.
Wow.
He plays with reckless abandon.
True.
He's not worried about getting flagged.
That is true.
And let that man. He blitzes a lot. They blitz him. So
Yeah.
let him get an open shot on him. He's gonna put a hit on him.
Okay. I'm with it. As long as they hit the A gap. I don't want to see any more B gap blitzes. I don't want to give Tua an opportunity to run or go anywhere. Like, just get pressure up the middle and force him right into those defensive ends. And Tua's scrambling ability is kind of deceptive. Like he kind of reminds me a little bit of like Kyler Murray in his quickness. He's not a fast guy, but he's quick, right? Not nearly as quick as Kyler Murray. I'm not saying that, but just from the standpoint of, he's I think linemen underestimate his athletic ability, right? So just don't give him any space. Rush him up the middle, box him in, and let's get this job done. Lindsay says, I say Dodson too. I lied. That was the last comment. Okay. Now, with that being said,
you got my favorite part of the show coming up.
I got 90 seconds to get us up out of here, and I've actually taken the opportunity to add some structure to this thing so I can get out of here on time. So here's how it's going to go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to thank everybody who has been tuning in. I'm telling you, I'm loving reading the comments off. This is what we about. We here for y'all. This is content made for y'all. So whatever y'all want to see going forward, please let us know. Again, like, subscribe, make that thing.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
Everywhere that we're at, all of our social media content is up now on Instagram, and we're still adding stuff to that. We got a meeting coming up next week where we're going to be talking about some new content that we want to put out strictly for social media, so that you guys have additional things to look forward to, and not just kind of rehash stuff from what you see here. Please go back and check out our other videos. If you like the content, you can like those too. And anything helps. We want to be able to do this every day for you guys, and give you guys real, honest, truthful Buffalo related takes and all that kind of stuff. News, everything, right? Watch parties. Yeah, we've been talking about doing that too. So if that's the kind of stuff you want to see, put it in the comments, or you can hit us up in our direct messages on any of our social media. And you just caused me to go over my time. So now I have another 90 seconds to get to.
Good job, man. Good job.
I ain't doing it. It wasn't really me. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you've been consistent with this. Like, yeah, you got 90 seconds. Let me see if I can get you on this one. Anyway, I want to thank everybody. What else do we have? So coming up on Monday, we're gonna do our post game, right? And then Fridays is when we do our pre-game leading into the games. I don't know what our flexibility is going to be as far as the scheduling and the playoffs, but we'll do our best to try and keep our consistency schedule-wise with whenever the games are played. If we absolutely can't, we'll put notifications on our social media pages, and you'll get the notification on your phone, all that kind of stuff. Refer us. We out here. We out here. You got friends. Lindsay last week said she was going 30 deep to the game. That's 30 folks that you can refer to us, Lindsay. Help us out. Yeah, no doubt. With that being said, thank you again from the heart, really. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Boy, Melly Mac.
Miss Key.
And our producer, my oldest son, Junie, on the ones and twos over there. And that's it. That's all we got. With that being said, we are out.
Deuces.